No.
Math sucks, let's fight.
3, 2, 1.
Math sucks, let's fight.
What's good?
Think that's
Flavortext is live for anyone past, present, or future. If you're from the past, then how are you doing that? If you're from the future, you picked a cool place to come to. And if you're in the present, then what's up? Today, we rejoin our heroes at New Dawn University, as they just did their first, because this is mirroring shonen pacing, they did their first recap episode, where they kind of talked about the stuff that had happened, and had some emotional beats, and some character growth, and now they're all a power level higher as a result. Cause shonen. Cheers. Batman mug.
Once you make friends, you punch better.
Yep.
It's true.
You punch better because your friends are pushing your arm behind. They're helping. Like
You always are in a team attack.
yeah, you're always in a team attack, which is a mechanic no one's used yet. So welcome to Mutants Masterminds 3rd Edition, the campaign titled New Dawn University, where we follow our young aspiring superheroes, the world's greatest superhero high school, and they are the inaugural class.
Can it be the greatest if we put out no heroes?
It's the greatest.
It's got the best funding.
We're currently batting 0.
You've put out no villains, so
Yet.
currently, like, 100% of your students aren't villains.
And even if no one in the public knows, we've taken down villains.
We have.
That's true. That is
So,
true.
yeah, we're the best.
Yeah. Class 1A on their own has taken out 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome.
Does that mean Class 1B has had a couple?
Maybe.
Have to go ask.
Higa.
He is the villain. He painted a
Tommy gun.
He painted a Tommy gun and shot like little paper wasps at people.
Dang.
Dang.
Ooh, what a rude boy. So we're coming back Tuesday because Monday we were off, and the rain that was falling around New Dawn has kind of lightened up, so that today it's just that soft like water vapor in the air. It's not misty. All good, Isaac? Cool. It's not misty, but we've got that sort of like, if you move, it's refreshing, cool. It's a little colder than it usually gets. And we're making our way back to our classes, which I finally have a very clean list of written out. And classes resume relatively as normal. The weekend was nice. It was really beneficial for the class to spend active time as a unit, both at the movie viewing and Rex's performance. It reinforced and reinvigorated a lot of the classmates' beliefs and determination in progressing forwards. Kara has nothing exciting to say in homeroom today. She just welcomes you back from the long weekend, hopes things are okay, and apologizes for the missed day of tuition, and states that someday later in the term there will be an extra day in the week to make up for the fact.
Okay.
Make sure that everyone is aware that the school festival is coming up, and it will be recorded and then televised after editing, so no live recording, or rather no live playback, but it will be recorded and sent basically as a media file to be aired. Yeah, as a broadcast.
Oh, hello.
Hello, Locke.
Not this book.
Oh.
I like a notebook. Continue talking. I just need to find my notebook. I have
Okay.
notes in it.
And the cat takes over the stream for
Woo!
a couple seconds.
Internet!
I found get that camera lock.
Yeah, this is Locke. He's our mascot.
Baby, look at that screen.
He's a good boy.
Baby, look at him. He's so handsome.
Yeah, he's pretty handsome.
He's our toasted marshmallow.
Let's clear him off the camera though. Love you, Locke. He just wants to be with people.
Yeah.
I wanna be where the people are.
Copyright strikes. And it's a very quick homeroom. It's not like you guys didn't see each other literally the previous night, so it's not even like there's a lot of gossip. But there is talk going around, because it was kind of mentioned and not really addressed too much on that Friday night with the horror film, that every student was attacked. And the information that you guys gather is as such. The one piece of information on my phone, as I said, I turned off my phone. Terrence and Ramona, on a weekday previously, had made their way to the waterfront, specifically just to find a quiet and calming place, where they were attacked by a supervillain known as Blue Velvet.
Oh.
Rita, Ryan, Ares, and Fia
Jesus.
were going about the city when they were attacked by the Zookeeper.
Sorry, Rita, Ryan.
Ares and Fia.
I'm sorry, who?
I'm glad you remembered Ryan.
Who?
For the meta.
Mm-hmm.
I know your joke.
And then Lenny, Kurt, and Jareth were attacked by the Cobalt Crusher, and Kurt and Jareth are very quiet about it, but Lenny is very happy to admit that she did all of the work.
You go, Lenny.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
As the man's chemical composition was different enough that Jareth couldn't effectively use any powers,
Oh.
and durable enough that Kurt couldn't have any real effect. So Lenny ended up, and she's very happy and proud of this, like disabling the Cobalt Crusher and binding him up until the others could get the police to show up.
You go, Lenny.
Lenny's
Mhm.
awesome.
That's Lenny. Oh, Locke brought us the ball. He wants to play fetch. Great timing, buddy. I love you.
So sweet.
Yeah. And so we move into general education, where the Diesel and Megaphone and Diesel again teach their usual trio, 1, 2, 3, and we make our way into how to be a hero. Solar Flare has prepared this class a little differently, in that at first he's not in the room. There is simply a projector and a little button that says, when everyone is in attendance, press.
Push the button.
Yep, someone pushes the button.
Click.
And it flares up, and it's Solar Flare in his, like, current costume. His, like, regular, when he goes about with Lunar Eclipse costume. Full mask and everything. It's very much that disco shimmer sort of look, except the mask is replaced with, like, a half crescent here, and otherwise just that same reflective material. It's weird that he's got this moon thing, but it's like, he's Lunar Eclipse's sidekick. It makes sense, kind of, maybe. Who knows? Branding. And the recording begins to speak. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to How to Be a Hero. I hope your weekends were swell, given the extra day. We've been working hard to make sure things go smoothly. And, today I wanted to talk about the importance of public appearance and, backstory. You see, heroes have origins. Every one of us, whether we wish it or not, there is something inciting in our history that pushes us to want to be heroic, to want to be more. I'm not asking you to talk about these, per se, but to think about them as we will begin assessing some more popular heroes and why we know what we know or what we don't know about them. For example, and it flicks a little bit, and then there's a projected image on the screen of Psyker, one of the top 5 heroes. She has a sort of ninja appearance, very Psylocke-esque. Psylocke meets ninja, Psyker. Her hair is very cleanly shaven, except for a little bun, like of top strip hair that she keeps. Otherwise, mask, black adornment, purple trim on some of it, tabby, gloves, very much a contemporary looking ninja. And it just rotates through. It's like a stock 3D model of her. Goes through a couple of different poses with her psychic blades active, with like shuriken in her hand, and etc. Like, Psyker is a hero who has to very carefully manage how much she lets be known and how much she presents. For Psyker has her powers based in psychic energies, which, as we all know, mental powers are restricted in the current day and age due to, the Mentalist. I'm not going to pretend as anyone else is doing. Now, Psyker... This is a video, so no questions. Psyker has told people very little about her backstory. Psyker has told people very little about anything. She shows up and does her job professionally and curtly and leaves. Many believe she adapts this mentality because it takes the heat off of her. It makes it so that the public isn't digging for an excuse to use her as the scapegoat for the next mental power regulations. However, this does give her a cold demeanor, which has made her less popular than she could be. Then, and it flicks off into him, there's me. Not to toot my own horn, but my backstory is widely known. I grew up in the slums and eventually was saved one day by a hero. That hero's name has gone down in legend as, why did I put that name?
So legendary, we all already know it.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, you all know him.
I have it. I'm gonna pull it up. Because for some reason I didn't, because I'm silly. That one. No way. Well, I can't find it, so it's one of the paragons. I don't have them written down, but it's one of the paragons.
Nice.
One of the paragons of peace. Now, the paragons have always, did always pride themselves in being pinnacles, paragons of not only peace but presentation. They understand and carefully manage the information that gets out about them. Well, I was rescued by a paragon and discovered my power once I hit maturity. Drew me a lot of attention and never really knew how to use it for good, but I always wanted to. It was when I realized that my power of visibility could lead to, invisibility, making it more difficult for others to see, that I realized obfuscation could be heroic. You could disguise heroic deeds and thus maintain the information your opponents know about you. Information gathering is important, and this will be the subject of both my and Virgil's classes today. So, why am I doing this as... and then it cuts. A video presentation. It's not just because I want to do multiple takes and get my best angles, and like that as montage was... but because I am unfortunately unavailable for the time being. I am off on a mission with Lunar Eclipse, but I had the time to record this, and so I hope you find it helpful. And the rest of the class is examples of different mainstream heroes and how they manipulate their stories and why they potentially don't give their backstories. But ultimately, the presence or absence of backstory has an effect on the public and their perception of the hero. This is how to be a hero, which includes fame. And this is talking about the beginnings of fame. When people start looking at you, what can you tell them are the path, is the path you took, the steps you took to get to where you are. Unfortunately, there's no opportunity to ask questions in the class as he is out for the time being. And we make our way to psychology with Virgil Cow. He is present. Hello, everyone. I hope Solar Flare's class proved insightful. We're going to be building and compounding on that. Solar Flare talked about the importance of media information gathering and presentation. I'm going to be talking specifically about media control and manipulation. Talking about the importance of information gathering and to never take what you're told at face value. Psyker's story isn't exciting. It simply has nothing of merit. Psyker saw a problem and decided to fix it, but there was no inspiring moment. There was nothing heroic about her upbringing. She lived a relatively normal life until her powers came, in which case she began to live a more conservative life. That story doesn't sell. That story doesn't draw attention. Certainly, she may be regulating parts of her story in the media so that people don't judge her or use her as a scapegoat, but realistically there's nothing that they could judge her about or use as indicative. However, by refraining from telling her story, she both creates an air of mystique and mystery around herself, as well as continues to propagate the rumor that she could be controversial, which, in its own way, creates buzz. Psyker's not the only one we'll be talking about, however. We're going to talk about information gathering in general and how to do it. The psychology of he pauses for the spotlight. Because it's very easy to have a story prepared. It's another thing to understand the story that they are trying to get out of you when all lights and cameras are present and on you. You can have your story, but if you're not careful, they will manipulate that story. They will twist that story. They will take what you have said and craft their own out of it. So, what I will be going over are the basics of how to understand why they're asking the questions they're asking, as well as how to get them back on the track that you would like to be telling. Remember, again, never take what you're told at face value. And this class is exactly what he describes, but Thomas isn't going to ever teach a full class.
Respect.
Yeah, as he goes over the basics of deflection and social, like, kung fu, as it were, to continually move the conversation in the direction that you want it to, and how to politely make your exit. And it ends with a very sort of menacing statement. For the final time, in closing, never take what you're told at face value. After all, you all still think that I'm human. And then you hear the as the bell rings, and everyone is ushered out of the classroom to lunch. Yes.
Flavor note, I wanted to spend that entire class asking kind of stupid questions, trying to find underlining meaning in the class, with the whole statement of never take everything at face value, taken at face value.
That's hilarious. that's fun, for sure. And you go ahead and ask those questions. Virgil politely answers most of them. You notice he always takes a moment before responding, even if it clearly is a kind of a poke the bear sort of situation, and never loses the cool demeanor that he carries about him. As we make our way to lunch, and everyone roll for initiative.
Ooh.
This is always my favorite thing to start the day with, is roll for initiative for lunch.
21.
Also 21, you and I need to reroll.
I got a 9.
You can have it.
You got an 11.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
Okay, Allie.
You rolled a 19.
No,
I did.
Oh, you did.
I was like, no. I have an agility score of -10.
Allie, you're going through the line and you get, Nutritia gives you your healthy day's serving of whatever it is that your body needs, which it's never always the same, but it's beginning to become a little more routine as the school year progresses, as your body is adapting to the diet you're being fed. I want to talk about breeding heroes like cattle. As you're literally moving down the line. Anyways, and 1 minute you've got Rin next to you in line, and the next she's just gone. She's off at her own table. And as you're looking for her, you hear, "Hey," and turn around to face Jareth. "Can we talk?"
Sure.
And he gestures to any of the empty seats.
I guess I'd find the seat.
And he makes his way across from you and puts his food down and starts eating. "I got a question for you."
I will do my best to answer.
And he pops this big fork full of potatoes into his mouth. "What are you gonna do when she's not there to protect you?"
She meaning Rin.
I know, thank you.
Damn, I thought he meant the female security guard outside. She's so nice.
My best.
Your best.
If you're asking if I have a specific plan, the answer is no, not as of yet. I'm in the hero course, but I am going to keep at this until Rin finally caves, hoping to be her sidekick.
Cool. What are you gonna do when your hero's not there to protect you, sidekick? Rin goes down in a fight. What do you do?
Is there an answer you're looking for?
I want to know what your answer is.
You're asking as though there's an answer you're looking for. What answer are you looking for?
I am looking for what you will do.
Protect her just like I did in the arena.
What about yourself? You gonna protect yourself?
The answer ought to be yes, but to tell you the truth, I don't know.
So...
Because I value Rin more than I value myself.
I'm not saying
and
it's you or her. I'm saying someone's coming after you. Rin can't protect you. What do you do? How are you protecting yourself? Because right now, when you're on the defensive, I get a lot of tenacity gone. I get a lot of fear instead. I get a lot of freezing up. You have objectively one of the most disgustingly powerful things inside of you.
I'm aware, thank you.
Why aren't you using it?
Because there's nothing good about it.
Really? Because I can think of someone out there who does nothing good with it. And you know what you could do? Stop her. And I'm not saying right now. No. You'd die. Any one of us would.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying you need to stop being afraid of what you're capable of. Because while people like me struggle and lag behind, working our asses off to even be at the level that you are at naturally, your slacking off is a slap in the face. Embrace who you are and save lives. Solar Flare does it, and he's a sidekick.
I'm sorry to have been insulting. We'll start with that. And I will tell you that I am afraid of what I can do.
Don't be.
I am afraid because it would be much too easy to start using it on innocence. Because that's how I found out that it was a thing, is I used it on someone. They survived, thankfully, but I used it.
They survived.
Because any heartbeat I can sense, I can theoretically manipulate, and I am afraid of using my hemomancy too liberally and damaging those who should not be damaged.
How are you gonna learn to use it if you're afraid to? If you're not gonna put your feet on the gas, you can't stop. You haven't started in the first place. If you're ashamed of what you've done, then make up for it. He didn't survive, by the way. He was taken to the hospital, rushed there as an emergency. And his son, terrified, had his powers manifest, clung to the side of a bus for dear life.
Oh God, Jareth, I'm sorry.
I don't want words. I want action, okay? I'm not looking for remorse. Though, I'm not trying to shame you for having it. Virgil was talking about stories. And I thought it would make more sense for me to share mine with you than for you to hear a manipulated and twisted version of it from anyone else.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that you felt you had to share.
Stop saying sorry. Start apologizing with your actions. In the sports festival, I have no intent on holding back with you.
That's
Not
fair.
because I'm angry at you, but because you can't hold back on us. You can't hold back if it's her. You are the most capable person to fight her.
That I am aware of. And I'm working on choosing my name based off of what Virgil shared with us about her profile. Because I know that once I become known, she will keep tabs.
Of course she will. She probably already knows who all of us are.
Probably.
She doesn't want people wasting their powers, she says. So don't. Looking forward to you kicking my ass again. He finishes his plate, gets up, and walks away.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Isaac was next in initiative.
I'm gonna check out somebody new from Class 1B.
Okay.
Do you want me to make some tea, my dear?
I'm okay. I'm good. We're good. Thanks. We're fine.
Yep.
You killed a man.
I did. Oh
Yep.
God.
Yep.
God dang.
Yep.
Shit.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
my D20.
Corvus like, this is my hero point.
Thank you.
So I heard someone new from 1B?
Because, yeah, like, you got a list,
Mm-hmm.
and we can periodically pluck from the list. Let's pluck somebody new from
From
the
what I
list.
hear,
Cool.
you're checking it twice.
I haven't introduced them yet, so this is an easy one. As you're wandering around the lunchroom looking for someone to talk to, and for whatever reason, Lenny has tagged along with you. She's just like, she wants to talk, but she's like, no, you want to talk to someone else, that's totally fine. I just want to have a conversation with you during lunch period. Like, it's totally cool.
Let's do it. Let's
Okay,
do it. Let's
okay.
find someone else, too.
Yeah. And you're bouncing around, she's bouncing around, and you're kind of like hovering up and down with her step just a little bit. Not even intentionally. It just, her energy is that contagious. And you find this girl, she's got this oversized bow on her head. She's wearing a simple, like, velvet red maroon cloak over her shoulders and carrying in her hands a simple basket. Her hair is kind of chestnut color and her bangs fall down to about here before the rest pulls into a tight bun up here. And she has, in her basket, she's unpacked a lunch.
That's cute.
And she's eating away, and the two of you kind of end up at her table.
Hey,
Hello.
can we sit down?
Yes.
Cool, this is Lenny.
Lenny. Hi, I'm Lenny. It's really nice to meet you. Yes.
What's your name?
Helena.
Nice to meet you, Helena. I'm Isaac.
Nice to meet you as well, Isaac.
Are you in Class 1B?
I am.
Cool, what's your power?
Oh, and she reaches into her basket and just pulls out a little vial. I'm a munitions expert.
Ooh. So you make guns and stuff.
Bombs.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
Oh my God, I love her.
She's awesome.
Do you make smoke bombs?
I make many bombs.
That's the right answer.
You should talk to our friend Ryan.
Oh, he's already approached.
Okay. Okay, good. Good.
Wait,
Yes.
has he? Ryan.
Hold her own wrist up to. Oh, they don't have one, do they?
Nope. And she's like,
Sorry.
could you please let go of me?
I'm sorry. It's we have these things to.
Ryan Fugard. Ryan, the little quaint boy with the pale skin.
Little
Yes.
quaint
Mhm.
boy.
Yeah, he's just thinking that with what he can do that...
Who?
This is Lenny.
Hi, it's nice to meet you, Helena. It's very nice to meet you too. And Lenny's like, Helena's a very soft handshake, and Lenny's very woo woo woo. I'm like,
Trying to think if there any skill check for like charm, or like
Persuade?
trying to.
There's persuasion.
I think persuasion is the closest you can get to charm, unless you're trying to be deceptive about it.
We'll see if this
what are you trying to do?
aid another. Try to help Lenny make friends with Helena.
Okay. Yeah, you can roll a teamwork check on charm. On persuasion.
Presence, just raw presence.
You don't have any range.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. She gets a +2.
Cool. And handshake, and the conversation continues. And it's not long before Helena's a little less like, she's still very reserved. She's still very polite in her mannerisms, but she like her shoulders relax a little bit, and she leans forward into the table just almost imperceptibly, as she, and then just the corners of her mouth into a little smile. As conversation continues, and Helena goes over her powers. She absolutely knows her hero name. It's going to be Helena Handbasket. And
I love it.
she is very excited for the sports festival because it's going to be the first opportunity for Class 1B to really go up against Class 1A.
No.
And,
Yes.
she mentions that there's a fervor in 1B. Even though there's no actual difference between A and B in the classes, there really isn't.
Oh, but there is.
Class 1B is absolutely like, no, they're first, and they shouldn't be. We should be A. If it's no difference, why aren't we all Class 1A?
Yeah.
We're actually the Canadian class. We're class 1A.
No, this is America. We're Class 1A.
Oh.
1A.
1A.
Glad there isn't one that's below them, because they'd be class 1, see?
No, there is a Class 1C and a Class 1D.
Oh.
If every
Yeah.
class has roughly 15 students, there's 10 classes, meaning it goes all the way to J.
No, because that was like 2A, 2B,
Yeah,
right?
Oh, okay.
basically, classes 1A through D are learning the exact same things in a different order.
Oh,
like,
okay.
different
Got it.
syllabus. Whereas Class 2A through D is learning different classes.
Got it.
And 3A through D is different classes.
Are all of the lunch periods at the same time?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So it is vast. 1B is not the only extra class. It's just the one we've been looking at.
They're just, not us. Losers.
And so, conversation just continues as Lenny and Helena talk about very mundane things, but Lenny really doesn't give a lot of openings in conversations. And Helena's happy to just be there and listen.
To be fair, I'm going to iterate what my powers are, because I asked her what hers were, so that it is not an unfair situation should we then meet in this sports festival.
Oh, that's very kind of you.
That's just fair.
Well, there was a class earlier today, second period, I think Virgil was talking about the importance of not giving away too much information. And I think you may have just done that.
Why? Why?
Well, I didn't tell you exactly what I do. I gave you a broad thing. You told me exactly what you did. Omnidirectional gravitational axis manipulation. You can change the direction of gravity and the influence it has on you and things you hold. It's already been heard 1,000 times around campus. Everyone knows what you can do, Miss.
Where's the too much information?
Confidence. You have quite a lot.
I asked you what your power was, and I described what my power is. How much is that too much information?
If we are to compete, perhaps it would be better to let our actions speak louder than our words.
And what if we're supposed to work together? Then it would be helpful to know what each person's capable of.
If we are to work together, then we could probably have that conversation. When we are told we are to work together.
We're going to the same school. Aren't we working together?
Yes, I think some of us are a little more competitive than that.
I mean, everybody's going to be competitive, but that doesn't mean we're going to all go around lying to each other.
I didn't say lie.
Or just be all secretive about it.
I'm not secretive, I told you. I'm a munitions expert.
And if there's some type of situation comes up immediately, we'll need to know what everybody else is capable of, and we don't have time to have a conversation about
Perhaps
it.
we will, and perhaps we won't. I look forward to the
working
festival.
together with you.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That was something.
Go to bed. best.
Okay. And then we are going to jump to whoever was next in initiative.
Up next is a Robin.
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 Cookie.
Robin. You go to sit down, but you can't find Jareth anywhere. He seems to be
Weird,
off
I
doing
wonder
his own
where he
thing.
is.
Yeah, I wonder where he is. And then you realize you can't really find anyone anywhere, as sitting next to you is Ramona.
That took me a second. I was like, what do you mean?
as like this bubble of darkness expands around you, and then you look over and you see Ramona just glowing faintly.
Mhm.
Hi.
Hey.
We talked the other day about having lunch together, so I thought maybe we could.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining me.
Yeah, I hope I'm not alienating you, but usually my lunches are pretty alienating anyways.
Well,
I'm picturing her with like a dish of calamari.
I'm glad
Sure.
to make them less so.
Mm-hmm.
Then, I suppose. Thank you for organizing and everything that you said at the movie night. I think everyone needed to hear it.
I just try to do what my big brother would do.
Who's? Sorry, remind me of your brother.
He's not here. You're not gonna meet him. He's just inspiring to me.
Oh. Nice. Does he have a similar thing to you, or?
My brother's power is just as vague as mine.
Okay. Is it likewise as isolating?
Yes, that's why it's vague.
Similar to Ryan?
Mm-hmm.
Who?
I can't help you. I'm at a different table undergoing an existential crisis.
What's your family like?
Two brothers, both older. Mom, works for a hero agency, government sort of job. Nothing really extraordinary.
And what are your brother's powers?
They've both got similar sort of things. Not necessarily density, but one manipulates volume, and the other is more like. The other one's like specifically manipulates like their own hardness. It's kind of weird to watch, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so one of your parents must be a manipulator of matter then.
Yeah, that's the dad. Mom's like she has the knowledge from my dad, but she more so just like deals with the logistics of it. Yeah.
Does she work at his agency?
No, separate. They wanted to make sure there wasn't any conflict of interest.
That makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing about your family. So you've got the brother and then
And then my parents split up a long time ago.
got it.
Around when I was 3 or 4, so I don't really know my father well.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But do you get along well with your mom?
I do.
Good.
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah.
And does your dad still like try to be in your life or?
No.
Okay.
No, he's rather distant. But that's okay. If he wanted to be in my life, then it would be an investment worth caring about, and he doesn't. So I'm not gonna invest in him.
That's understandable. I suppose
Nuclear family means a different thing nowadays.
It certainly does. But with the Manhattan family being in the news so much.
Yes!
I'm writing that one down.
Yes. Hero points.
I can't even throw the cactus at you for that one. That was good.
That was
Clean.
just fucking solid.
That's very clean.
Yee.
Locke is currently playing with a ball of like fluff.
Hair.
Yeah.
He's playing with a dust bunny.
Yep.
Yeah, very intently. He's confused by it.
Confused by it.
Try to check out his paw.
I love a little cat.
He's struggling.
I can't see it.
I would like to roll an insight to see if that entire bluff worked.
Roll.
You were able to bullshit well enough.
Pretty much.
Poor Ramona. All she did was be dark.
That's a 12.
Your physical cues should have given it away, but Ramona wasn't looking. She was busy eating her food.
Now let's see if you
Wow.
can remember all those. Next time you gotta talk to someone.
She really has them written down.
Probably. She
This is
practiced.
the Lona we're talking
She
about.
practiced her story somewhere.
I didn't.
Well, that was all on the spot.
Well, it's a good thing that I wrote it down.
And are your brothers? You said they're older. Are they heroes now?
The oldest decided to do more like continuing education. He's the one that has the like manipulating himself sort of stuff. So, he's planning on doing more like municipals or something along those lines. And the other one's like he's kind of tagging along with my dad, but they're like trying to keep quiet about the family connection at the moment.
Got it. You
Yeah.
don't want.
Don't want to be accused of nepotism or
And
anything.
I mean, it would also be unfortunate if a villain were to come upon them at the same time.
Exactly. So.
Well, I hope. Good luck to both of them. What's your dad's name?
Jokes. Rolling inside joke.
Chokes underwater.
We're all kind of. Virgil was being specific about what information to not give, and
Got it.
Wow.
I'm gonna try to take that to heart. I feel
That
like
makes
I've
sense.
probably given you potentially more information than I should have, as is, but yeah.
Well, thank you for trusting me.
Yeah.
Oof. Oof.
And the rest of the lunch is small talk.
Mm-hmm.
This lying ass.
Rin,
That's my name.
you sit down at your table, and nothing could possibly be going wrong at this point. You come in, and Kyrie is talking mad shit to Armoire. Like they're just like ragging on each other, talking about which one of them is gonna win in the eventual fight at the school sports festival. And Armoire's like, I'm literally impervious to whatever you do. And she's like, I'll phase 3 your impervious ass and rip your heart out, dumb bitch.
And Rin's like, whoa. Bit too far.
She's like, you gotta get the timing on your powers down, and you still don't have that. And
Also
she's like,
true.
And she's like, I just gotta keep swinging.
Also true.
And it's just back and forth and back and
Rin
forth.
is keeping a tally of who's winning.
Mhm. And you
She's
come to
throwing
sit
lines in
down.
mashed potatoes.
They're not there long enough.
And as you're listening and counting, Rita comes and joins your table.
Rita!
She's like, sup?
Hey!
How you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Good.
Are you ready to do a lunchtime showdown?
A lunchtime showdown?
This is the lunchtime showdown table. You have to pick someone here and you have to challenge them to something. Lunch appropriate.
Okay.
Last week I won snorting ketchup.
That's not something you want to win, Rin.
Maybe you,
You
don't.
don't understand. She practices.
I got one.
I
Rin,
want to win.
Huh?
I challenge you to eat the least.
I
Dang.
physically can't do that.
I know. Looks like I'm the winner.
You're a stone cold bitch.
It goes, runs in the family, doesn't it? But she says it in such a charming way that, like, nobody picks up on the subtext. Because
You're
the only
not
one who
wrong, but damn.
knows. And she just smugly keeps eating.
Played.
So.
Like, how long was he around for you?
I wish I could tell you.
Yeah, about the same. How's your mom handle it?
Very well. She's very, very stable, very steady.
Where's she based?
Japan.
Oh.
Why?
My mom's here in America. I thought they might be friends.
Oh.
Like, they could be friends. You
I
know?
imagine they have like a pen pal club at this point. They have a whole newsletter, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Chain emails.
So were you born in America?
Yeah.
Great. So he made it all the way to America.
Mm-hmm. Not trying to make it uncomfortable. I just don't really know how to bond with you quite yet.
I've never had a sibling. Do you have any siblings?
One, at least.
Oh. Oh.
It's too happy.
That makes more sense. How did you find out that he's your father? Because I can't. Are they married?
No. No, they're not.
Well, that's gonna do great things for the family name. I'm glad I broke that sword.
You broke a sword.
I broke a sword.
He gave you a sword?
He gave me the family sword.
You broke it?
Yes. Do you want the other half?
Yeah.
you want the sharp half or the handle?
The sharp half. I can throw it.
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Bring it tomorrow.
Can do. Rin pulls it out of her backpack.
Bring the blade to lunch tomorrow.
Dun, dun, dun.
She's not a knife. Don't worry, it's a gift.
A knife. Please, there are children at this school who grow knives out of their backs. I'm
Okay,
certain.
yeah,
Their
that's-
name is the Porcupine. They just roll over shit. Bring a weapon to school. We're all weapons. You're fine.
I mean, we know that Armoire can do it. At the very least, there's at least one person at this table who can manifest knives. And Rhea kind of can. She materializes like energy knives, which is tight,
Presence. Yeah.
tight as fuck regardless.
Mm-hmm.
How are you feeling since yesterday? Day before?
We fought on Friday.
Several days ago.
Mm-hmm.
There was some punching that happened.
I mean, I'm still a little bruised.
That's fair. That's very fair. You should
Kinda-
put more iron in your diet.
I don't control my diet. Trish does.
Oh, that's fair. Touche.
So maybe there is more iron in my diet, and I don't taste it because everything here is amazing.
Oh, I really don't taste at this point.
Right, because you have to keep...
I just
yeah.
eat such a quantity that sense is just completely shut down.
Yeah, I'm real glad you fronted the bills this weekend.
Was it not that good?
No, it was great.
Oh.
Just, there was so much food.
Oh, well, there always is. I'll always front the
Well,
food bill.
yeah, that cool.
1 out of 90 times.
1 out of 90 times you'll front it. That's always 1 out of 90.
Well, yeah, it's never coming out of my pocket.
Got it.
I don't have an income.
Yes.
True. True.
Ah.
No, he doesn't exactly pay support, but like sometimes he drops off gifts. Like anytime he passes through.
Does he pass through a lot?
No,
Okay.
maybe 2 or 3 times in my life.
Oh, that's better. It's not, but
No, but I mean, if that's his penance, then we'll take it. Sorry, it's not all sour subjects. What was it like growing up with your power and such?
As soon as the power kicked in, it was different. I had a really easy life as a kid. My mom always cooked. She always had the steady income of hers and the dad's, so like I was never worried about anything. And then one day I was in a self-defense class and I broke my instructor's femur.
Is Freemer?
His femur. Both of them. Both the femurs.
Femurs, maybe?
Yeah, it's a bone that's supposed to be very hard to break.
The Freemer.
Yeah, the femur. Very, very dense bone.
I think your English might be a little off, Rin.
I don't know what you mean.
Femur.
That's what I said.
No, it isn't.
I don't know.
Okay.
But yes, I broke my instructor's femur. And then...
Both of them.
Yes. Not in the same day. But I got taken
Poor
to
guy.
the doctor after that. And effectively diagnosed with having a power.
Yep.
And my mother figured, oh, you must inherit after your dad because
Sarah, could you turn these on?
you broke a man. You hurt him bad.
What about your mom? Did she have any powers?
Yes. She regenerates
Okay.
very, very fast.
Mm.
She's shown it off several times in cooking shows.
Cooking shows.
Cooking shows.
Oh,
She is
she
sometimes...
accidentally like nick her fingers?
She doesn't
Make
do
a
it
spectacle out of it?
accidentally.
Add a little extra iron in the diet?
Yeah.
Generally, at the end of a meal, she says, I give you this piece of myself, and then chops off her finger from the knuckle down.
What?
She doesn't actually give it to anyone. It's all symbolic.
Okay.
It grows back within 5 minutes.
Okay.
But
Ugh.
she regenerates
nom, nom.
much more quickly than I do.
Yeah.
So she figured that I had the iron bones.
Mhm.
And then, as I got older, and I broke more instructors, we figured out I have a lot more than just regeneration. It's a mishmash of the two is what our guess is.
Mm-hmm.
And sports doctors like to talk about it a lot as you punch real good. No, they say much more complicated things than that. But generally, I punch very well.
Mm-hmm. I've noticed.
To the point where I wasn't allowed to do contact sports in middle school.
That makes sense.
And then I broke someone's hand in a game of lacrosse.
Throwing a ball.
No,
Oh.
it became a contact sport.
Oh.
And so I was banned from most sports.
Chess okay?
No.
Then I broke a man's.
I lost a game of chess in my first day.
And then it
at
became a
chess
contact
club.
sport.
Not for me, but the board hit
Got it. Broken nose.
No,
shattered
no, no, no,
cheeks.
no, 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 no. Just a lot of broken toes. We were playing on one of those stone boards at the park.
Oh.
I'm just picturing checkmate this, you bitch.
Lit some table.
I'll show you, checkmate. Yeah, it was very pretty. It was a wonderful victory
Lots
in
of colors, I'm
the
sure.
House of Himura.
Mm-hmm.
What about you? What was childhood like?
I don't know. I mean, I went to a normal school. My mom didn't want, like, attention drawn to me because of, you know, him.
That's fair.
And so, like, I didn't even go to a super school for a long time. Like, even after my powers manifested, I kind of stayed in a regular track.
Oh wow.
I kept my power use minimal. The crescent thing, like, I've always known I could do, but only really gotten to do here.
Mm-hmm.
Most of it's just shown up in, like, I've done track for a lot of my life. Shot put, which, I mean, shot put at first, but that got very uncomfortable very quickly. As, I mean, I had a hell of a shot, and it had a hell of a rebound.
You scored really low.
Yeah, so we decided not to put me in shot put.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Throw the opposite direction, you're fine.
But pole vaulting worked pretty well.
Ooh.
Because I could always get the right bend.
Nice.
Yeah. And I always just tried to stay in shape. Even if I wasn't in a hero school, I thought, you know, if something needed it, like, I'd go to jail for it. Whatever. You know?
Oh, got it. Okay.
And then, like, this school's, you know, application videos went viral, and, like, Mom always wanted me to kind of stay on the down low.
Mhm.
And I said, you know what? Like, that's what he does, and I'm better than him. So, I'm gonna apply. Yeah. Ow. And, yeah.
Okay. Okay, very cool. Very cool. And just for future outings, do you have a favorite food?
Favorite food? I'm honestly really big on getting, like, a square meal. So, like, I need a protein, I need a carb, I need my greens. And you look down at her plate, and it's literally, like,
Square.
chicken, rice, broccoli.
None of those things are squares.
Oh, it's an English thing. A square meal means, like, a nutritionally balanced meal.
Oh, got it.
Usually
got
with
it,
a protein, a carb, and a green.
Got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was about to say the plate's square.
It isn't.
In some places it is. So that's a justification. But no, that makes significantly more sense. So you don't have any favorites, you just like a well-balanced meal at all
Yeah.
times. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Food is sort of like a means to an end for me.
Same!
Yeah.
There we go.
As you write down.
So how did you get so good at throwing despite never doing it?
I mean, I never went to a school for it, but I practiced.
Okay.
Backyard. I didn't have to, you know, like, throw real far to get good at it. I just had to learn. It's like every different angle is a different bit of muscle memory for me.
Oh, interesting.
So it's like I'm actively choosing one of probably 300 or 400 different throws I've learned,
Okay.
just to adjust the degree, you know, that much. And I practiced with sticks in the backyard for a long time because it was always about the arc, less about the force. But I always stayed physically fit. And the entry exams were kind of the first time that I decided to see how far I could actually throw.
Wow.
I would, you know, adjust the angles a little bit more than I was used to, but clearly they liked what they saw. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here.
No, yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, there were a lot of applicants, and I'm glad that another Himura did such good work.
Likewise.
But I would like to propose something. You teach me how to throw, and I'll teach you how to punch.
I'm so down for that, but I doubt I'm going to be able to teach you 400 precise 1-degree variation throws.
Then just teach me one.
Okay.
Because currently, the only throw I can do is a straight line.
Okay. So you want to be able to, like...
I'm not looking to ricochet around walls. I just want to hit
Okay,
things.
because I can do that too.
I know.
Okay.
You can do some crazy cool stuff.
Yeah. I haven't really gotten a lot of opportunities to with you because you're good at punching. You're
very
really good at punching.
It's my thing.
But sometime soon. Okay, cool. Yeah, next time we've got a sec, let's work that.
Sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, you teach me to punch good, and I'll teach you to throw good. See this little throw? Throw you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah. Yep.
So I'll see you next time at lunch.
Yeah.
Think of a better challenge next time.
Better? You're just jealous.
Dang.
Jealous of what? The fact you can't eat as much as me?
The fact that you lost.
Dang.
And that's gonna end our lunch period.
Can I would like to go find Kurt. I have something to ask him real
Yeah,
quick.
go find Kurt. You go find Kurt. He's sitting with Miko, the plant boy.
Miko,
the
aren't you
plant
sitting
envy.
with us today,
The
you
plant
bitch?
envy. Yeah. His back, like the plants on it, all seem like kind of wilted today.
Oh.
And they're just quietly eating their food, and Kurt is like snipping parts of their back off and putting them in little test tubes. Like, thank you for this. I appreciate it. Certainly, we can figure out how to cultivate your back and produce ideal results.
Kurt, I have a tech question.
A tech question.
One
moment, Miko.
I know that the cell phones we were given are secure
Secure, yes.
among classmates. Are they secure to reach out? And if not, is there a way that I could have said line? Because I would like to call home, not necessarily to talk about events at the school, but would still like to sort of...
So you'd like a private line between you and your home?
Yes.
Easy. Not on that phone. That phone is a closed circuit.
Gotcha.
It will function exclusively between the students and classmates and teachers of class 1A through D.
Gotcha. But yes, a secure line home and not necessarily a rush before the sports festival would be great, but
I
just...
can get it to you tonight.
Cool.
What's, and he takes out a little old school proper, like, spiral bound notebook and flips it open, and then just grabs his fork and turns it into a pen.
Meet her at the
What-
girls' dorms.
Your
they like that.
address.
Gives address.
Your telephone address.
Gives-
Yes. He writes it down.
Gives the various generic things.
And, I saw Jareth talking to you.
Yes.
He seemed very aggressive and you seemed very sad. Are you okay?
Yes, I am.
I have a feeling he feels inadequate after, the Cobalt Crusher.
If we're going to hold ourselves against the standards of the villains we've come across, we are all still inadequate.
Nonsense. Lenny's not inadequate.
This
She
is
defeated the
true.
Cobalt Crusher. Terrence and Rita handled Blue Velvet. Rita? Ramona. So many R names.
Yeah, there's a lot.
And then I'm certain you all handled yourselves well. That's what I heard. Not the first time, but the second.
Whoa.
Second time seemed to go
With
better.
the
Yes.
death row inmate.
Yes.
A lot more menacing than V-Arcade, I'd argue. So you seem to have handled yourselves well.
Thank you.
So I don't know why you would feel inadequate. I will leave that to us.
I don't think you're inadequate either. You have your specialties just as we all do.
I'm beginning to think that my specialties are lacking for the hero course. Wow, I didn't expect to say that out loud.
Why would you think that?
Well, I
Because you
think
saw Robin's
I am of a
calculations.
similar mentality to you. I believe I should be a sidekick. Always have. It's why I founded a defense technology corporation when I was 7. I'm better at helping people than doing things on my own. Much better. In fact, I'm terrible with people.
I'm not very good with them either. And I know that when I was first put in a hero course, I spoke directly to Virgil and Solar Flare about why, and essentially I was told that we are placed where we are placed because they have observed people of both sidekick and hero, and they know what makes a hero.
They also spoke about that on the first day in the assembly room. More or less the exact same words.
More or
Yes.
less. But in which case, if you are here, then I suppose we're both supposed to be heroes.
Maybe. maybe they see the potential for heroes, and maybe they see people who could, if they were not given the proper care, go down the wrong path, and they said that's too dangerous or too much of a risk to let them go off on their own. After all, I, again, invented a defense technology corporation at the age of 7.
And I rip blood out of people. It happens.
Yes, but
We all rip blood out of
I
people
hadn't-
in different ways.
I hadn't meant to imply that you were, villainous. I'm sorry if I did that.
Oh, I implied it.
Self-awareness is key. It is how we grow, as we recognize our faults.
And I think that you have the self-awareness and possibly the room to grow to become a hero and do things for yourself, because you are good enough at technology to supplement what you do not have.
Ah, yes. Which is anything physically capable, anything mobile, anything to handle things at a distance, you know? I mean, there's people here with lava for hands, and I can shoot a net at them. What good that does.
Let's just shoot him with a gun.
No, I think my technology works best to support powers people have, because my power on its own feels rather lacking.
What is your that's probably asking too much information.
What is my power?
What specifically
And he
is?
takes his pen.
Mhm.
And he,
I mean,
he,
you
he,
turn-
no, he crumples it
Mhm.
and drops metal and a puddle of ink
Where did he get the ink?
Ooh.
in the pen.
It was a fork originally.
Yeah, it was.
It was the fork that became
What
a pen.
just happened?
So,
Nanobots.
I can construct and deconstruct any raw materials in my hand. I replaced the ink in the pen with an iron compound that was present in the fork to create a very rudimentary form of graphite. Anything I can understand the chemical composition of, I can turn into something else effectively, if I have the base material to do it. For example, I could not turn that into, say, and he takes a watch off of his wrist. I don't have the same materials for this, and let alone if I tried, and he grabs the little metal ingot and does this, and he gets like half a watch. I physically don't have enough material. And he puts that back down, does that, and just scoops this back into a fork. So, anything within reason. There's some materials my power doesn't work on, but I try to understand things as much as I can. I'm always at the library, so that I know what makes things work and how they are formed, and therefore can make more things on the fly. And I've come up with my own schematics, because if I do that, then I can make more things. You know, if I understand engineering and chemistry, then I can create applications thereof. So what my power does is I make things. I turn things into other things.
That sounds incredibly useful to have in the middle of a fight. Because
It
you
has
would
currently
never.
proved useless.
We haven't been here very long, and we're still first years.
I mean,
And the more
in world,
things,
we've been here for 2 months.
Okay,
2 months isn't that long.
No, it's
that
not.
long.
It's not.
It's like 40 school days.
it's not like it's 2 weeks, but it's not that long.
I mean, in all of the combat examinations, I have floundered and failed. My shields and technology for defense are useless against someone with any physical prowess. Rin shattered it thoroughly on multiple occasions.
She
My
does that.
offensive applications are very limited in that most people who are superpowered are some form, way, shape, be it through their nimble grace or their inherent teleportation powers, hard to hit or impervious. And there's no way in hell that my technologically enhanced rollerblades can keep me at pace with, well, let's just use Rin again. That woman jumps
She explodes her legs to do it sometimes.
close to half
Yeah.
of Mach 1. If I move that fast, I will die.
That's quitter talk.
Okay, that's fair.
My body can't handle it. I don't have anything that lets me. And certainly I could maybe make a high-pressure suit and always wear that. Great, I'm an astronaut. I could create things to circumvent my weaknesses and create more things to circumvent my weaknesses, but one villain destroys a single part of that and suddenly I'm useless. Yes, I can make another suit, but I have to put it on. Yes, I can make another weapon, but I have to spend the time to assemble it, and they know what I'm going to do with it. I feel as if, though... Let's phrase it this way. I do not think I have the adaptable nature that heroes should. I do not think, because my power takes a moment, that I can react as quickly as a hero needs to. That being said, I also know that I'm rather, unpleasant to be around. And that is perhaps even a light understatement. People don't like me, and I don't like people. Today's classes were about presentation and stories, and I've been doing that my whole life, and people still don't like me. Despite me feeding them what theoretically should be the perfect stories. Because regardless of what people hear about me, the moment they actually meet me, they don't like me. So I don't think I'd be a good hero. I don't think I should be in the light. People will not rally behind me. They do not like me. And that is simply the way it has always been. I applied here primarily to be around up-and-coming heroes and develop tech for them.
My brain isn't fast enough to have an answer for you immediately, so I might have to come back with an answer.
I'm not expecting you to at all. But you're welcome to.
You're not as terrible to talk to as the first time I talked to you. So whether I'm adjusting or you are understanding people better, somewhere there is a middle ground.
Ha. Very well then. Misha, 1 moment.
And I'm gonna, walk away.
He goes back to collecting samples from another living being.
Uh-huh.
And lunch ends, and you guys make your way to combat theory with Kara.
Alright.
Where she sits. It's basically the homeroom class, just same seating arrangement, same room. She's like, "Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to combat theory today. Virgil and Solar Flare probably talked a lot about information, blah blah blah, the importance of appearance, blah blah blah, the same things that they always talk about, just in a different color.
You're not wrong.
I'm going to talk about how to win.
Ooh.
Oh.
Today we're going to talk about taking all of that psychological mumbo babble and turning it into a weapon.
Ooh.
See, heroes are naturally disadvantaged. Villains can break the laws, they can break the rules, they can harm civilians and damage infrastructure. They don't care. They don't have to. Heroes do. Our strength is we work together, but it's not as if villains can't do that too. We inherently are disadvantaged. So what do we do? Well, if we can't win the fight, we stop it from happening. We remove what makes someone want to fight, what makes someone want to win, what makes someone want to live. Why would I say live? I'm not saying we should kill. No. I'm saying never do that, first of all. Unless it's dire. Live, I mean in the more figurative sense. What drives someone? What pushes them to do the things they do? Information gathering and such is very important to learn about someone. Psychological profiles are becoming readily accessible and important tools thanks to Virgil and his team. And a hero who's not reading them before encountering a specific villain is at a disadvantage. Because odds are that villain will thoroughly trash you. Most villains will thoroughly trash a hero if you're starting both here. Because here is not equal. It's more like this. You need every incremental advantage you can get. And one of the strongest is removing their reason to live. Removing their reason to fight, removing their will to win. Removing their will entirely. So you read these breakdowns, you understand these profiles, you find what makes someone tick, and even if they have every advantage, they lose those all the moment their psyche breaks. So today's combat theory is going to be on its feet.
Ooh.
We're going to be working with duplex. We have created a situation in which, well, we've created a couple of different environments and a couple of different situations in which you will be given various amounts of information about your opponents in a theoretical hostage situation, and the odds will be stacked against the heroes. Now, anyone playing a villain, this does not mean you should not try and win. It means you should try and win ruthlessly. You are a villain. There's no reason for you to hold back. We have medics on hand.
See you in the corner. Hey.
And they're very good ones. You all know this. But the important thing here is, some of you will be given profiles, psychological ones. Some of you will be given objectives. No two people will be getting the same thing. And you will be trying to apply all of the knowledge you've learned today into this environment to come out ahead. Use everything at your advantage, use everything at your disposal. And, yes. I have, and she presents a hat, lots. This is just a little old school. We usually randomly generate who's up against who, but if anyone would like to be the first to volunteer, and you're not the only two hands to go up, like there's a good 3 others, and lots are drawn, and like each one is assigned. It's a scenario as opposed to a name. Obviously, drawing your own name would be weird. It's a scenario with either like a little letter attached to it or a little color attached to it to indicate which theoretical side. And lo and behold, you're all on the same team.
What?
How'd that happen?
Oh, this is rigged.
Maybe I don't want to run 2 separate combats at once.
Respect.
Maybe
That's fair.
I don't like bouncing around the table.
More than necessary.
More than necessary.
Touche.
And so, you guys, once lots are drawn and groups kind of move together, the 4 of you find yourselves holding the same, like Kara basically, while lots are drawn, has written letter combinations on the board indicating how many should meet up with that letter combination. And she's just like, and A, C, D meet over there, K meet there, F red there, F blue there, and just little pockets of the room for people to meet up in. And the 4 of you meet up, and you have no idea who you're going to be against or what the situation is yet.
Fun.
But the 4 of you are together.
Cool.
Virgil comes into the class at one point, looks at the things on the board, talks with Kara, and to a couple of students assigns little folders. None of you get one.
Neat.
Oh!
Who needs them?
And then leaves the room.
We the heroes.
Or we're the villains.
We're the villains. I want to be the villain.
Of course you do.
And Kara comes over to you eventually. She goes, "Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
You will be working as a team together,
Mm-hmm.
as heroes.
Mm-hmm.
The information you know is that a villain has captured 2 very important hostages. He or she has them somewhere within their warehouse. This warehouse is the villain's lair. It will be something that they have had time to devise, set up, but they also don't know which heroes are theoretically coming to stop them. Neither side knows anything more about the other except for that there are 4 heroes coming to stop the one villain. He's supposed to have, according to the reports, 2 hostages. There are no known accomplices for this villain.
One
but
villain.
He has had time to prepare.
And no known accomplices. There might still be someone.
Maybe. Maybe not.
So you can hear heartbeats, right?
Mhm.
So we can use that to get some information when
Any
we get
known
to the
connection
location.
between the villain and the hostages?
None. The
Nothing.
villain seems to be acting on impulse, perhaps, but there is a calculated nature to their approach. If impulsive, they are quick-minded. The hostages are going to be, and she takes out a little, like, electronic device and scrolls through real quick. Not a phone, but like a little list.
A pager.
Yeah.
Tablet.
The hostages currently, for your scenario, you have, the younger sister of a very important and famous superhero. Not specific as to who it is. And you also have a regular civilian. Not that either is less important.
Choose.
Do we have a motive?
For the villain or for your saving?
Well, for the villain.
I have to make sure I'm thorough, Rin. The villain has demanded very little at this point.
Okay, that's curious.
But what little have they demanded?
What little have they demanded? Good question. They are asking for safe passage, exoneration from their crimes, and quite a lot of money.
What are their crimes other than kidnapping?
Well, they are known for murder, 17 counts.
Oh!
Extortion, blackmail, previous kidnapping. This isn't their first time. And petty theft.
Wonderful.
When they were younger.
Well, that's the charge we're getting them for today.
The goal,
Return that camera.
obviously, is to rescue the hostages. Stopping the villain comes second to that. If you rescue the hostages, theoretically his plan is stopped. He has no hostages.
So we know it's a he.
Or she.
But they'd still be free to do other things.
Yes. Ideally, you capture them too, but the primary objective is hostage rescue. As far as I know, and she, kind of does that expand sort of thing and flips it around. This is the map of his lair. We have done reconnaissance to obtain this much information, or her lair, and it's a 3-story warehouse. That realistically it was built by the architect, and it's very straightforward. There's staircases at the back end of the building, alternating. So it's staircase here, staircase here, staircase here, like here and here. If this is floor 1, floor 2, floor 3. And there's no other way between the floors, and they're all kind of narrow hallways and corridors. Despite it being a warehouse, the ground floor is kind of open, but the inner contents of this theoretical warehouse are unknown. And from what they could tell, it has created difficult, winding terrain throughout. You do not know where the hostages are being kept, only that they are being kept, and that's the end of the primer I have.
Okay. Thank you. When do we begin?
Duplex should be in soon to escort everyone to the facilities. I'm going to go brief a couple of other students.
Okay.
Excellent.
Discuss amongst yourselves.
I'm thinking you can use your hearing to tell us where the people are. Maybe if you can punch through walls, we can go through a different angle. Because if they had time to set up, they might have traps or something. But if we go in through an angle they don't expect, then boom, we're in there. Get the hostages and get out, and then you just punch the bad guy really hard.
Yeah. But also, the 3 of you can move in 3 dimensions. So wherever we find out the hostages are, you 3 just align yourselves as closely as possible to the hostages. I'll blow a hole in the wall for you, and then I'll go to the front door and make an entrance.
Okay. Or if we spot another entrance, because a front entrance would probably be the most heavily trapped.
That's the point.
Rin
And
said
you'd be
that she would make a
damaged.
new entrance.
Temporarily.
Another potential thing would be luring them out with promise of what they want. A bag that seemingly contains money and offering
Just a comically oversized bag with dollar signs
Yes,
on it.
that's exactly
bills
what
flowing
I
out.
thought.
But in reality, it's me, and I'll punch them as they get close.
It's you buried under Monopoly money.
We're gonna
And-
lie to him? That's not very heroic.
It's a hostage situation. If the focus is to some extent on stopping the villain, making them think that they already have what they want means that they can let the hostages go.
Though they don't just want money, they also want safe passage, and that's a difficult thing to process if they don't have any kind of leverage on us. So they'll probably have the hostages somehow either
Until-
on their person or
Mhm.
still within threat.
True. And if the whole thing about information, just looking at all of the classes we've been taking, we may want to keep our own powers secret somewhat from the villains so that they can underestimate us, or at least not estimate correctly what all we can
Well,
do.
the problem is, if the villain is one of our classmates, they already know pretty precisely what we can do. They don't necessarily know
Which
any of
set
our
is coming.
weaknesses,
Mm-hmm.
per se.
Mhm.
Because I know I haven't made mine particularly public. But they likely just received profiles on a random assortment of students, so it's possible that they know exactly how to shut each one of us down.
Mhm.
So I think moving with a degree of not
Care?
stealth, but yes, care.
Particularly given that this is a lair that they have had time to set up in defense
Yes.
of most common powers.
Yes, I'm assuming they're doing that right now.
If they receive profiles on us, they might have profiles for each of us individually, but they probably don't have any idea of what we can do altogether. Have you ever tried to increase the density of a person?
Yes. It hurts.
A lot of things hurt that I do.
Drop
Okay.
a super dense Rin as a cannonball through the ceiling. We go in, we grab the hostages. Rin keeps punching.
lands on a hostage.
I can help with the
Get wrecked, son!
It's a possibility.
Mm-hmm. In a worst case scenario, I'll just have to get back up in a little bit.
We can keep one person off of you until you can stand up.
How long do things stay dense after you drop them?
My
Seconds.
seconds. I kind of have to remain touching
Falling. Ha ha!
the person.
Break your bones, break your
and thing
legs.
You
for the
did-
most part.
You grab one arm, I grab the other arm.
Okay, let me just fall to where we're going.
Mm-hmm.
Easy.
All right.
And then the three of us will already be in there, and then we can take action after that.
Mhm.
Does anyone have anything sharp
I got
in case
teeth.
case we need to like cut bomb wires again or something?
Oh,
Oh.
no.
No.
I did not bring my sword today.
Can I go through like my
Everyone
pencil
read
bag
that
and see
in
if I've got a pair of scissors?
Yeah, you have
Like
scissors.
nail scissors.
No, not doing my nails in class. They would probably be like crafting scissors,
Mhm.
sewing scissors or something.
Sewing scissors are strong.
Sewing scissors do not
DM
lie
has to go to
around.
the bathroom.
Okay.
Got it.
So here's an alternative. So we have two plans right now,
Mhm.
and I think it's safe and always a good idea to have multiple.
Mm-hmm.
But
Options.
it's entirely possible they're not just sitting in a room with the hostages, steepling their fingers and saying, "Ah, yes, I'm curious why I brought you all here today."
No. You have to twirl a mustache. That's how it works.
Oh, I also have to spin around in a chair and have a cat.
Yes.
But it's entirely possible that they've thought that through, so there will just be 3 different heartbeats throughout the building. And especially since we don't know who we're looking for, we're not sure how to identify their heartbeat.
This is true. I would still help with location so you don't land on top of anyone.
Yes, but then cannonballing into the building will just cause a bit of pandemonium, and we'll have to find them.
This
If
is
they
true.
are all in the same room, I think the cannonball is a very safe technique.
Mm-hmm.
It'll get us exactly where we're going, and they won't have much time to get away from us. But if they are very spread out, I think our best plan of action is going to be a careful,
Sweet.
methodical approach.
Mm-hmm.
So in that situation, I would advise we actually split up. 2 from the ground, 2 from the air. Not necessarily the air, but basically
Above.
comb the building like
Mhm.
this.
Mhm.
And I mean, obviously, I'd be one of the ones in the air.
Definitely.
I'll take you.
That is a possibility, actually.
It certainly is. It's
But-
not one that I would recommend.
Also, just want to throw out the possibility that we might not be able to tell who's a hostage and who's the villain first
At
and
first.
foremost.
Exactly. The villain
might
could
be-
disguise themselves as a
Mhm.
hostage.
Mm-hmm.
So just
Hero
to,
point.
just to not fully
Don't-
accept everything.
At face value.
face
They've been telling us
value.
all day long.
Just knock everybody out, drag them all aside, and then
And
start
let the
asking
police
questions.
sort it out. Check IDs afterwards.
Yeah, with one of their
ID,
IDs.
villain, bad guy. Found him.
Bad guy
we
makes
did
ad
it.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm going to run to the bathroom super
Yes.
fast.
Anyone who needs a bathroom break, this is a good time to get it. Anyone who needs
Uh-huh.
water refills, this is a good time to get it because we're about to jump into a combat scenario.
Fight!
I'll do a refill. Where we all get to use our new level up toys.
New toys, new toys.
Toys.
Yeah, toy. The longest yeah toy ever said. Yeah, Jareth spooked you.
He did.
Ooh.
Jareth got me real hard.
Yep.
See, I was about to write in my notes, did Jareth straight up murder a bitch? Because
Who's
of the
the
way that it was
murderer?
going along.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, apparently
How
I
would you
did.
defend yourself? Tell me, I need to know.
Yeah. What answer are you looking for?
He wants you to be strong.
Yeah, you do.
That's what he wants.
Yeah, that's what that sounded like.
He wants you to be
Shape
strong
up,
enough
because
to
if
stop
you're
her.
in here, there better be a goddamn reason. It's more or less what I got. God, he didn't live. Shit.
Nope.
Thank you for not telling me that part.
Of course
I
not.
just assumed that I was like, okay, he got to the hospital, he's fine.
No.
Of course they would tell that to a child.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Like my father wouldn't lie to me about that.
Jareth's father can't lie to him about that.
Huh. And this whole time I was like, oh, okay, so like the Crimson Tide got his Nope.
It was you.
Nope.
It was you.
Well,
The moment you gave me in your backstory that you basically killed a dude, I was like, so
She killed a dude.
that's someone else's parent.
You didn't know you were giving your DM a particular knife, but you did.
I did. I handed over a good blade.
And I got it twisted.
Oof, I got
Yeah.
bones.
Yeah. That was something. It was
Uh,
good. It was
How do you think it's
good.
been playing Jareth every interaction with Alan? Rip the blood out of my body. I need to make sure I'm fine.
I thought he had a problem with the Crimson Tide, like specifically.
Mm-hmm.
At the very least, now he knows he's suppressed his father.
Damn! That is dark!
Oh, shit.
Give me one of them. Because I need some salt in my life now.
God damn.
That shit is dark, Dax.
Yeah?
I love it.
Oh.
Just that came so far left field for me.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna hit all y'all with these knives. You guys gave me backstories to work with.
Who did I kill? A lot of people.
Yeah, everyone you thought you injured, they're dead.
Nice.
You killed your first instructor and their twin. You broke both of their femurs.
Apparently, femur breaking is fatal.
It can be.
I broke a classmate's ribs. And their skull. Yeah, but their ribs broke first.
I broke a man's heart once. No, literally, I punched him so hard that it split. It was crazy. He apparently had a. It wasn't a power, but it was a mutation where his heart was as hard as calcium. And he took more than 15 newtons to the chest. Bam, he was down.
A kid runs into you accidentally. Blah. Oh yeah, break screen.
Yeah.
Might be a little late for
I'm like,
it.
I never used this.
Yeah.
He joined boxing club.
Like a bird accidentally flies into his chest and he dies.
A dog jumps on him too hard.
When I was in health class in high school, we had an animatronic baby that we had to take care of for a weekend. And on the final night, my dog got excited and jumped on it and broke his neck.
That's so sad.
When the thing's neck broke, the punishment not only was like dropping a full letter grade, but it would cry for like 15 minutes non-stop in the most horrific sounds. It was like 3 in the morning and I was up late studying for physics, and that's when that happened.
That's awful.
That was the worst like couple days of college. And I handed the baby back and she's like, his neck broke last night at 3 in the morning. I'm like, my dog jumped on it. And she's like, still have to mark you down for leaving it where your dog could get it. I'm like, shut up.
That's rough.
Just give me my grade. I'm done with the class. I never want a child, and I told you that when this started. This hasn't changed anything.
If anything, it's reinforced it.
Those babies in particular, they always confuse me because I'm like, just put your baby on a high shelf. Bam, you did it.
No, you also had to regularly feed it, change it, water it. Like,
Don't water your baby.
We had soda bottles
Lucky.
filled with like rice or something to carry around all the time.
Lucky.
But the thing is that this was an Adventist school, so
I was gonna say, y'all
It
had
was-
a hell of a lot more sex ed than I ever did.
no, my actual sex ed, I went to the community college to take it because I was about to take it there. But that particular section was part of religion class.
Oh.
So we had to first go through the engagement, have the marriage ceremony, and then the girls had to carry around like the sex on their stomach for a while.
You had to get fake married to have
we
a
had
fake
to
baby.
get fake married to have this fake baby.
Only in
So I had to go up to my French class at the college like this in a massive muumuu.
a massive
In a
moo-moo.
muumuu with just like the sack of flour. I was like, it's for class.
The teen
God,
maternity
this is
store.
embarrassing.
I'm setting aside the things I need.
So that was that excitement.
Yeah, I've never had to deal with animatronic babies.
We had soda
Animatronic?
bottles.
It was animatronic.
Or they'll give you just like something with a sensor inside so they can tell if it gets jostled too much or left alone for too long and things like that.
Yeah, I had none of that shit.
Yeah, I never even had like the flour sack baby.
No, we had an
I'm so jealous of
abstinence
y'all.
rally.
I was gonna say, you went to a tiny, tiny Catholic school.
That was our health class. It was a singular abstinence rally.
Wow.
We got little credit cards that we had to sign.
I got those too.
Mm-hmm.
You got your little
It was
V
your
card.
promise card. Promise that you would, save yourself for marriage. And you were supposed to put it in your wallet so that anytime you open your wallet, you were like, oh, right, I'm not supposed to have sex.
Because that's when I'm thinking about having sex. I'm opening my wallet out. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm so
well, maybe
sorry.
you're paying for it at that point, okay?
You're cracking it open, prostitute in the room, and you're like, oh ma'am, I'm so sorry.
Or like you're at the pharmacy buying Plan B, like, ah, shit.
I shouldn't have done
I
that.
wasn't supposed to.
Now I gotta get married.
To cover up and hope nobody questions the timeline.
Shotgun wedding, let's go.
Mhm.
It was a premature child.
That's the fattest baby I've ever seen. It's premature.
There's mature in the word.
Uh-huh. Anyhow.
There's mature in the word. Very
Let's go
quickly,
fight.
just so I can get it, I'm gonna have everyone roll initiative again.
Hey, 22.
17.
18.
Okay, who was the 18?
Robin.
And then Rin was the 17?
Yes.
Okay, then I've got those numbers, and then I've got that. Okay, you guys are led into Building D, which... it stops on a floor for a second. And, like, a door opens up, and Lenny, like, face red and streaked with tears, enters the elevator, like, head down and dejected, Virgil patting her on the back. And then a divider goes up in between you and her in the elevator. And the elevator...
Lenny!
Hands on the divider, like, what the actual fuck?
And Duplex just like... It's gonna be a tough day.
Okay.
And then... A door opens for you guys, and you're led into a little holding room. Very similar as the rest. Couch, fridge, dartboard. And the information you've already been given by Kara is laid out on this table.
Great.
And Monica, Duplex, I should never have given them first names. I should have never given them actual names.
You keep doxing your.
I'm doxing
Heroes.
my own heroes.
They have little name tags that have their first name up. It's badly crossed out.
It has white out over
No,
it.
Monica's just what this Duplex calls herself.
There we are. She's got names for the various...
That's hilarious and a little fucked up.
So we can differentiate. That'd actually be a really good way to keep from Twice's problem.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Spoilers for My Hero Academia. Yeah, Duplex is like, that's the information you got. We're gonna be watching you on monitors. Anyone who's finished will be watching as well. So I think right now that's Lenny.
That's the whole list?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
And I'm wishing you all the best of luck. Once you enter, you're gonna find yourself a good couple feet out from this warehouse, but you've tracked him here, and it's his secret private warehouse, or theirs, or hers, or whatever. And you read the stuff, I hope, or it was read to you. It's not really my job. My job is to watch y'all fight.
I did have my Miranda rights read to me. Don't worry.
Your Miranda rights?
I'm kidding.
What are your Miranda rights? Tell me right now, Rin Himura.
I'm allowed to call myself Miranda at any time. People are not
You
allowed to
can call
question.
I was gonna
Miranda
make
if you
that
want.
joke.
Rin is 3 letters that are in Miranda, objectively so.
You don't have to talk. That's.
You have the right to remain silent. You have the right
Hey, those ones.
Robin rattles off the actual Miranda.
Yeah, important for you to know though, as a superhero.
I have to do arrests. Oh my god.
Yep.
If you're in the U.S.
Oh, I just thought I had to punch people down.
That's elsewhere. I mean, you
I mean-
can, but
I just have to tell them they can remain silent while I'm doing it.
Just have it on a little card.
I'll tattoo it on my
Tattooed on your
knuckles.
nose. Yeah.
Yeah.
and then you can serve people the Miranda rights when you hit them.
Which character was that, or was that out of character?
That's Monica.
This is Duplex.
Okay,
This is
good. I was like,
Duplex.
wait,
Duplex
who's
Monica.
here? Who's here?
This is Duplex.
Cops do actually have cards, so that they don't forget anything.
Oh, wow, that's convenient.
And also if they're dealing with someone who's hard of hearing.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just get mine written on the inside of my face mask. That way, when I'm reading them, I can just.
Just you're holding someone up by their head.
You have the right to
You have the right to eat a
Not.
crumpet? I don't know.
holding out someone by the scruff of their neck. Hang on a second, I gotta read this to you.
1 second, dude.
just don't look back.
Just don't turn around. I know you can't because I'm holding your head right now, but like, just don't. If you somehow have eyes in the back of your head, keep them closed.
So, good luck, aspiring heroes, and get the bad guys, save the people, do the fight.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
And impress me. Go. And she like opens the door and like ushers you guys out. Like she opens the door and then another 3 of her push you guys into the door.
Oh, hey!
And the door shuts
You were
behind you.
moving.
And you find yourself very much, as explained, there's what appears to be, from the outside a warehouse, what you know to be the secret lair hidden in plain sight. A single entrance in the front to maintain the illusion of warehouse. You know the basic layout of 3 floors, so you don't know what's on any one of them. You know the supervillain is aware that you're coming, but he doesn't know who you are. And anything I've already told you.
Sweet.
2 hostages, one's a civilian, the other's a super.
Hmm?
I'm just rattling off.
2 hostages.
2 hostages. Yep. The other is the younger sister to a super.
So likely a super.
Perhaps.
A civilian and someone of import.
And a high
of
profile
notice.
civilian.
And a high
Basically,
profile
a
civilian.
hostage and
An
a
S tier civilian.
double S plus tier. And at the top of the initiative is not you guys. And then it goes to Allie.
Okay.
We did it.
Well, now we know that.
I would like to take a swift lap around the building.
What's your speed again?
bunch.
900 feet in 6 seconds.
Okay, yeah. You do a quick lap.
And just like to be listening for heartbeats, machinery. Well, I can't really hear machinery because I'm trying to sense heartbeats as I zip around
Yeah,
to see who I
as
pick
you
up.
make your way around the building, just a high-pitched whine.
Oh God, asshole!
Yeah.
Just a high-pitched mechanical electric.
So we know we're not fighting Lenny.
Yeah, that's the only information you have.
I'm betting Kurt.
And then we move to Robin.
Okay. I'm assuming I'm part of the air team.
We had several plans, and none of them are particularly in effect right now.
Cool. So,
I mean, I think in each of them you are flying.
yeah, I'm gonna...
Reflecting the ring light.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Whatever.
vector flight kick my way up to
I tried that, yeah.
top of the building sort of area to see if there's any top entrances to the lair. I didn't think so,
None
but
that you can find. No.
cool.
Rin?
Honest to God, I'm just gonna start walking up to it.
Yeah,
Oh,
you, can
God.
start, you can reach the warehouse in 1 round with your new speed.
She just and runs until she gets to the door and then flattens herself against it and like.
Love it. Okay. And then we move that, and Isaac, you're up.
Okay. Allie, did you see any other entrances?
Did I see any other entrances?
Nope.
Or windows or anything? Cool.
The city is fond of windowless buildings.
Well, they said 2 in the air, 2 on the ground.
That
I'll
is
back you up.
certainly a
This
thing that I
specifically
said.
was designed to look like a warehouse, and warehouses very little, maybe one for ventilation.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they
But
usually
like
have
not
a skylight.
Yeah, not big enough for people to get in through.
I use my move action to follow Rin,
Mhm.
and the held action of if she steps into the doorway and a trap goes off to pull her back out.
Okay, cool. And then we move to Robin.
Allie?
Allie, yes, thank you.
So if they're on the ground, I guess we're up. Find a way in from the up.
Did you sense anybody?
There's a high-pitched whine going on that is messing with.
Yeah, you
the
can't
senses
even
there.
hear the
Uh-huh.
heartbeats adjacent to you.
And Robin essentially bumps into you to stop her own continuing to fly off.
That's right. Catch.
Uh-huh.
We're just spinning in a circle now.
Like, a slow circle.
No, it's that sound. It's that song from
Copyright.
Wall-E when they're spinning around each other in space.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I was imagining Titanic where they're in the ballroom.
Yep.
No, I want little robots.
No, the
Garbage
ice
man.
float can only carry one of them.
That's fine.
It was
we'll
a
fly.
door.
Well, with no information as to where a cannonball's supposed to go, I suggest we join the others.
Cannibal?
Cannonball.
Oh. Probably yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll
Can
join.
you help me?
I'll just fold my wings, and we'll just go.
Okay.
Allie, Robin, you are with the rest, and it is technically your turn, Robin. The
Okay.
4 of you at the front door.
I want to essentially be on the opposite side of the door. It's a double doors,
That's a single door.
single door.
Mhm.
And test the handle. Is it locked?
The handle does not appear to be locked.
Okay.
Ooh.
And then want to like turn it so that it will open easily.
Mhm.
And either push or pull. Just open it in one fell.
Push or pull.
That's what the travel hinges on.
You can look at the door and see like
Where
if
the
it's
The hinges could be on the inside of the door.
yeah. Shouldn't it be visible?
Are there visible hinges?
No.
Okay. Then I'm gonna give it a shove, like push, but keeping myself out of the way.
Cool. So you push the door open. It opens.
Yay!
Cool.
It is pitch black inside.
Fuck.
Yeah, it opens into darkness. There's a little bit of light illuminating like the first 2 feet into the room,
Mm-hmm.
but it is hard to see.
Okay. Ideas, everybody. Ideas.
This is what Ramona's.
They also just turned the lights off.
Okay. Also, what hers look.
Remember, we're underground. There's no sunlight.
Fair.
Rin was literally pulling out her phone to do the exact thing.
YouTube.
She tucks her shirt in, she puts it in the waistline of her pants, and then like tightens them as much as they'll go to hold it there, and like ties it in place. So now she has like a little hip-based flashlight,
Cute.
Noise.
and she's like, "All right." And then I
Robin's
delay my turn to be in line with Isaac, and she's gonna be like, "You two are Squad A. We
Before
are
Isaac
Squad
or
1."
after?
Before. We'll maintain the same initiative order, but now instead of an enemy getting a chance to go between us, now
Yep.
Isaac and I are.
Yep, I got you.
We fuse.
Yeah.
Okay,
we
initiative
Voltron our initiative. So
I got you.
team 1, team A.
Got it.
Team 1.
What?
That way no one's in first.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool. So that's you delaying, which technically brings us to this turn. They've already done their thing. This turn happened. Then it's Rin,
Nice.
who delayed.
You and me in?
Mm-hmm. I'll go up.
Alrighty. So I step inside, primarily first.
Okay.
And what do I see now that I have a flashlight?
So you do a quick little scan. It looks like boxes and crates have been organized in this warehouse in such a way that they've created a maze.
Interesting.
And that from here you kind of have like 3 different corridors you can travel down that are unnatural, and you're not sure where the actual natural ends of the room are.
Got it. And these boxes are stacked from floor to ceiling?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Okay.
Because otherwise I was going to be like, Isaac, up and over.
I was like, yeah, I'm already on the ceiling, so but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, clever.
Okay, so
They've had time.
left, right, or forward?
That's what it boils down to.
Forward.
Always forward.
Perception checks, please.
I got a 22.
Nice.
23.
Okay, and then...
That's what we get for turning our flashlights on.
Yeah, it is. You go ahead and take a step forward, and your eyes, you catch it, Rin on the floor. There's like kind kind of wedged against one of the boxes, in between almost. It's really hard to see, but there's a little red line just.
I reach out to instinctively stop Isaac before remembering he's on the goddamn ceiling, and it's like, huh.
You want to come up here?
But as like your eyes catch it, you see that they're kind of lined systemically.
And then she jumps and stops him,
him in the
and it's like,
face.
whoa, calm down. We got a red wall, firewall.
So we go a different direction.
No, they wouldn't trap a wrong direction. At least not this thoroughly. That's my guess.
But that will bring us to Isaac's turn.
Are these small enough that you cannot just go through them if you were to target correctly?
Theoretically, you could. It's just a matter of they're hard to see, but they have been pointed out to you.
Precision.
They're lights, correct?
Yes, but they're thin lights in a dark room, and it's more that your lights reveal these lights.
Oh,
It's not like they're a red laser. It's like your light coming on them reveals this very thin red streak.
We catch like the little dust streams through them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting.
You want to try slip through?
Or we could try and go under.
Limbo.
Like, do they go all the way to the ground? Are we talking break the ground?
They're stacked almost like a ladder in the pathway.
Well, they certainly don't go under the ground.
So you want to try to break the ground?
Try is a generous word here.
I'm going to try to go through, and I'm going to see if I can't turn them off from the other side.
Okay, you do that first.
I wish to attempt to go through.
Okay, I'm going to need an agility check.
Okay.
I don't think Isaac has that.
23.
23 succeeds, yeah. As you nimbly, like as you're weaving your way through, you realize there's a couple more stacked in there that you hadn't seen, and you kind of do a little neat maneuver that you copy from Allie's little swan dives, and make your way through to the other side. And you find yourself approximately 4 feet away from where you just started.
Dang.
Like barely any distance.
I'm going to see if there's any devices visible now that can be interacted with.
Like I said, in between the boxes, you see these little kind of metallic shards wedged in that are creating these lights.
Oh, I have an idea, but that'll be on my next turn.
And do you have a standard action, Isaac?
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm just going to...
The metallic things that are producing the light,
Mhm.
I want to spit on one.
Okay. Nothing happens.
Cool.
We're going to move to the top of the initiative, which is going to bring us to Allie. As your two friends have just disappeared into the building.
Cool. Allie? I'm gonna do the same, like, sort of
There we
light
go.
Mm-hmm.
flashlight thing. If Rin thought of it, it's probably a good idea, so do that.
That's generous.
Can I, once we're inside, can I see the lights from, like, their phones down the first corridor?
No.
Ooh, darkness.
Left, right, or center?
Well, you would know that we went center.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, deciding whether or not to follow.
Left. We were told to split up.
Okay, I've got Rin and
Or we
Isaac
thought to
here.
split up.
Alright.
Back to that.
And,
So, gonna go left.
okay. Can I get a perception check from the two of you?
Yes.
See.
Ooh, 11. That's a 17.
18.
Okay. 1 second. I'm just marking who's going which way. Rin, Isaac, Allie, Robin. Both of you please make a dodge check for me.
Ooh.
Your dodge
Oh.
check. Yeah, dodge check.
Okay, that's a 5.
I'm gonna try and spend a hero point to see if I can roll better.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I'll
do
take
that.
hero points.
I'm gonna do that.
As
was
the
about to
two
say,
of
you've got
you
enough of
from another side hear
That's
a
better.
concussive blast go off.
Okay.
That's much better.
Cool,
that's an
that's
18.
a total of 17 on my end.
Cool. 1 degree and 2 degrees of failure.
Oh!
Ouch!
Luckily, that's just a dodge. So go ahead and make toughness checks.
Okay. That I could do. That I'm fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
We don't know how fine.
26.
Pretty fine.
That was an 11.
Okay. Allie suffered 3 wounds. I'm sorry, 3 degrees of failure. 1 wound. And
Cool.
you are totally nonplussed by this concussive blast. Like, it's almost that instinctive, you step on this trigger, you hear it, and you just hyperdensify yourself as just...
Can you tell me in more specific terms
You
what...
take 1 wound and you are
you.
now dazed.
Thank
You
you.
are staggered, sorry.
Yes. So, for your next round of initiative, you get 1 action. That is staggered.
Would you
Thank
like a handy little cheat sheet?
For wounds, probably a good idea to keep that on the table.
Possibly. Just keep it set down. I'll probably still have to ask.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, you have one action and you're at half speed. That's
Gotcha,
for
yep.
just one round. I'll let you know. what happens.
Staggered I know because I can pick that one up.
And that was
I guess.
Ali's turn.
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm just assuming movement is kind of shared in this
Yeah.
space.
A little bit.
So Robin, this concussive blast goes off and knocks Ali. She's very clearly ringing from this sensation, and it's messing with your ears too. Like there's that steady whine, and this is an explosion that went off right at you. So your ears are like
I'm all the way messed up. Yeah.
yeah. It does not apply any debuffs though.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
It just hits you.
Real hard.
The only debuff it applies is damage.
Then I'd like to try to see where the blast came from. Essentially, was it mechanical or individual?
Mechanical. It's very easy to see the shattered hull of what was effectively like a grape shot wedged into, like you can see where this thing left the impact from the concussive force, and it pushed its way into the crates effectively.
Okay.
The crates also, as you're like, that should have knocked something over.
Yeah.
These crates are not only floor to ceiling, but they are reinforced. There's alloys and like girders effectively inside them. They are visually crates. They are not wooden crates.
Okay.
That ruins my next plan.
That
Break the crates.
Move 'em.
that likewise affects my next plan. I would like to try to carry a crate
How are you getting it out?
by
Like-
making it lighter.
It's not a matter of weight, it's a matter of force. These things are
Oh, they're locked into place as well as being like reinforced in and of themselves. Oh, okay.
yeah,
They're
they are not
basically-
actual crates.
Basically columns.
Yeah, it is the illusion of crates. They are not actual crates.
Got it. Okay.
Designed to look like a warehouse, not a warehouse.
Yeah. Then, what can I see in front of us?
In front of you, the hallway continues for a while before taking a sharp right turn.
Okay. Then, held action to, get in front of Ali if something comes at us from this direction from the forward direction, because we've made our presence known, essentially.
Absolutely, yeah. So that's your held action. And we're gonna move over to Rin and Isaac.
Okay. So Rin, what her plan was she wanted to like wedge a hand
Actually, I
between.
should check one second. Okay, continue.
She wanted to wedge a hand between two of these little like laser disc things, and then try and move the whole row of boxes over so they'd all just like fall down. But since these things she now learns are reinforced.
Yeah, you go to wedge your hand and it just your fingers kind of bend
Ow.
over. Like you probably just sprained your fingers because you were so certain you could get them in there.
Huh.
But they heal up pretty quick.
Okay. Well, then this is going to be an interesting bout of limbo for me.
You can also try and trigger them.
And I can't like pry a face of one of these boxes off.
You might be able to. You might be able to try and rip this material off of the column.
I would like to do that.
Okay, make me a strength check.
Do your strength. Strength
That's
do.
a 18.
18. You feel it, the metal start to groan under your grip, but it's not quite enough to like rip this this reinforced plating off of the column. But as you peel it, it does reveal, like behind the illusion of crates, it is reinforced girders and such. You see the column that it actually is.
Shit. Well, in that case, and the lowest laser is flush to the ground. Damn it.
They're like a ladder climbing from floor to ceiling with about like a foot in between each one.
Yeah. I was just hoping that I could power slide under them, but that's not gonna work. So I'm just gonna have to like basically get parallel to the floor and then try and like frog crawl over the one that's there.
Make me let's call that an agility check.
Damn it.
Or what would you like to justify?
I don't know. I just was
Athletics.
hoping. If it was athletics,
Push-ups.
easy check.
Push-ups.
Just jumping push-ups through.
We Fit Trainer.
The problem is the jumping, because then I would just hit the one that's up.
Nah, it's the We Fit Trainer's crouch movement.
Yes.
They push up
But if
on-
you want to do agility, I'll do agility.
Yeah.
That's a 13?
13 is not going to be enough as you as like your first little stop, you hear. Well, it's more like you feel your body slip into the legs, and you're like, oh, this is gonna hurt.
Fuck.
And then you're prone.
A little
So
bit.
You're
Low
at
prone.
-5 on close.
Pretty,
Cool.
pretty prone.
So this is gonna go off. I need you to
Undoubtedly.
make a dodge check.
That's a 7.
Yeah.
Do you have hero points?
As this,
I want to see what happens.
each
first.
one of them from the top and bottom at the same time down and cascading towards the center and then continuing through. So like 2 gouts from each. This thick, viscous glue just
Son of a.
coats everything, and you are hindered until you can justify how you remove this glue.
Gets so angry it steams off.
Gross.
Yep. Like, you can still move, but it's...
And then she just stands up dejected and is like, I guess we're continuing.
Yeah, as each of them has expended. And, like, just for insult, as you take another step, just one more...
The building
Isaac.
just sneezed on you.
Cautiously continue forward with trying to still look out for these traps that are clearly existing.
Give me a perception check.
Did we hear the concussive blast as it went off?
Yes.
Okay, good.
The glue didn't make a lot of noise.
11.
11. Okay. Isaac, you are continuing forward. It takes a sharp left and then a sharp right immediately after. And as you're continuing forward, these boxes, like, the illusion very quickly fades. You see columns and girders and actual support beams in place. The illusion of crates was plenty fine for the pitch black front, but they didn't try to keep up this appearance for too long in this warehouse. Since they only need people who open the door and quickly look to be like, ah, yes, that's a warehouse. And
For each hallway, I just want to take a picture of it before, so that I'm not just
Before you go
blindly going
around?
through.
okay, absolutely. I'll add a circumstantial bonus to your perception check to spot any traps in the future, especially those around corners. It'll be a small bonus regularly and a whatever the +5 one is called.
It's
Big
a
one.
real good one.
There's a +2 and a +5.
Minor and major, maybe?
Minor major. Yeah, you'll get a minor bonus on your perception checks for that creative application, and a major bonus around corners in particular.
Nice.
And so you make those left, right, and set up effectively your perfunctory preemptive surveillance system. As you make your way around that second corner, the darkness like dims a little bit. Your eyes are adjusting, but also that first part of the room was just considerably, almost supernaturally darker than the rest. And that is Isaac, which is going to take us up to here. Those have gone off. There, he's got to do that.
Concern.
That's there. Allie, we move to you. For this turn, you can take one action and are at half speed.
Gotcha.
But after this turn, that effect will end. The wound is for the rest of the encounter.
Thank you. And because I need to remember to do this for my favorite environment, air, my +2 I'm currently applying to defense
Sure. Thanks for the
until
heads up.
something else goes on.
Yeah.
Just continuing to walk forward, trying to watch. Since I don't know what the trap looked like, but going at a slow speed, carefully scanning with the phone. Because at the moment I can't rely upon hearing, so I just have to watch carefully.
Yeah, you get a little further down the hallway, but with the effective concussion you've just suffered, you're kind of straggling
Not
forward.
great.
You take a second before Robin catches up to you pretty easily.
Yeah.
Robin, this one similarly takes a sharp right up ahead.
Okay. Do I remember what side of the building the first staircase was on?
They're effectively at the far side of the building. You'd have to get there.
Yeah, but you said they were alternating, like one up here, one up here,
Yes,
one up
so
here.
this is your entrance point.
Yeah.
This is the back of the building. This is your parameters.
Yeah.
First floor staircase, second floor staircase.
Oh, one at the front, one at the back.
Oh,
Yes.
got it. Sorry.
Yeah, different places.
Okay. So, I would like to, like, is there any debris around that I could potentially, like, pick up? Just like a small, like, baseball sized
There's
stone.
parts of the trap that just went off
Cool.
that you can pick up,
I would like to pick
like
that
pieces
up.
of metal that exploded outwards.
Yeah, I'd like to pick up one, toss a couple in, like, pockets, and throw it down the corner.
Yeah,
Before
it
turning
it very quickly hits a wall and just
Cool. And then continuing forward.
Mhm.
I would
And-
like to, like, as I'm going along, I want to be picking these up and tossing them
Yep.
around corners before.
Yeah.
Going forward.
Similarly, you get down this. It takes a sharp left, and you find yourself in a hallway that's a little brighter than the one you've previously been in. There's a door to your right and a door further down the hall to your left, and the hall itself continues forward. This is a detail that, now that we are moving to Rin and Isaac as well, you have continued down this hall. It's a little lighter, and there's a door on your left, but the hallway otherwise continues straight forward.
I think at the very least we check what's behind the door, but then I think continue forward.
At least try to like safely do it, because hallways are trapped. It's entirely possible that the door is going to be trapped too.
Does this door have a knob?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to turn that.
Glue on your hands?
The glue on my everything.
Yeah, it's like sobbing.
So whatever side the doorknob is on, Rin is going to stand on the other side and pretty much just like.
I'm going to wrap my outer shirt around my hand in case it is heat
Trapped.
or electricity based. And can we see the hinges?
Yes.
So this is going
It'll open
inward, yeah. From the ceiling, and I'm going to open while moving myself at the same time.
Yep, you're gonna
Around the
alley-oop
door.
into the room.
Not
No.
into the room, but just like behind the door if something came out of the door.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, you open the door. It appears to be some sort of little closet room with a door on the other side of it. Just wanton cleaning supplies in here. Seems weird if they're keeping up the illusion of a warehouse that they're very inconsistent about it.
What's in there?
It's a closet, but a closet with another door.
What do you think? What do your instincts tell you?
I think we go through that door as
Could you
well.
make me a perception check? Rin?
Yeah.
Likewise, Isaac?
22.
14.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah, nothing seems out of the ordinary. It's exactly as I described it. It looks like a supply closet with a door on the other side.
We're going through the other door?
Yeah.
Okay, Allie, Robin, what are you up to?
Gonna grab bleach.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab some bleach.
I got bleach!
So
door or hallway?
door, hallway. We're supposed to be sweeping, right?
So check inside.
Well, no. I was suggesting we've activated one trap. We check the third hallway to the right.
Go back and then check on the other side.
Yeah,
Yes.
let me set off every trap.
We're doing
just-
completionist run.
Just if we're doing a proper sweep of the building, they've gone to the center. We haven't met them here, so I'm guessing they haven't gotten to the end of wherever this is, and this is a clear
Or
divergence.
each hallway might continue onto their own section. I don't
Exactly.
know.
But we should at least do the proper sweep if we're playing SWAT.
Or would the traps all be in the warehouse and then everything else is further back? And so moving forward would be more of a sweep?
Rock, paper, scissors for it?
Sure!
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3! 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
First try.
Alright, we go back.
Okay.
So
You guys make your way back.
we make our way back.
You're gonna get to the right corridor, but not get to go down it quite
Okay.
Got it.
yet. As your lights barely pierce the darkness in this, and you can see maybe 3 feet in front of you as opposed to 6 from the other hallways.
I have to run to the restroom.
Yeah,
very
go
quickly.
into the restroom.
Okay. I know who's down here.
Do you now?
I have a
As,
theory of who's down here.
Suddenly, the perception that you two have, like, goes pitch black. Like, despite your phone being on,
Oh, okay, it's alright.
And I can't even. Can I even see my phone light from like?
No.
Oh shit. And that's after the door opened. After we opened the second door. I gently close the second door. Nothing changes.
No.
Ah shit. Are you blind too?
A little bit.
Okay. Well, at least I'm not alone. Well, we already opened it. We might as well go in.
Take my hand. They won't expect it. And now we can both walk on the ceiling, so they don't expect us both on the ceiling.
You're so right.
Now we're stuck together.
A little bit.
You know it.
Made choices.
It's
I
gonna
can
be one of those
swing
things
you around
where,
like a mace.
where the two of them are like handcuffed together, and you have to do the swoosh and the swish.
Yes, I'm entirely down for this.
So now we're wandering through the dark on the ceiling.
What does it smell like? Can we smell like?
The glue.
Musty.
Okay.
Ew.
We're gonna need one heck of a shower after this.
Hope it rains again. I don't have a whole lot of perception-based abilities, so I'm hoping you do.
If they try anything a little bit more detailed than just, oh, it's dark.
Yeah, that's fair. We don't really have much darkness-piercing capabilities. And you, okay, so one of my big questions for you is, can you put yourself on one axis and me on the other?
No.
Ah, damn. Because I was hoping we could walk along the walls so we at least know our boundaries.
I've been trying it, but I can't figure it out yet. I'm not sure.
Yet. Oh boy.
Not sure I can do it. That's my level up, so I can get a thrown object.
I'm gonna go get my laptop charger real quick.
Okay.
Because I realized I didn't plug this in.
Well, then I have an idea. So, why don't you align yourself to one of the walls, and I will do a handstand on top of you, so we at least know if how wide the hall is as we're going down it, maybe? Because it's at least information.
Okay.
I'm fit.
You? Really?
How wide have the hallways been in the past? Does this seem like a feasible...
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, because if they're like more than 10 feet, that cannot happen.
He thinks it's the sun.
Okay, cool. Then that's what I'm going to suggest.
Sure.
Sweet.
Okay. If one of you two on that side, I'm feeding it under the table, could plug that in.
I've done an unplug.
Just so that we also know, like, when a turn happens, instead of us walking into a wall.
Yep. So that's you guys. You figured out your approach to the dark, and you're continuing through the door, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, based on the ceiling, you know that this hallway continues to your left and to your right.
Then we do precisely that.
Precisely what?
A left and then a right.
No, I'm saying you can go left or right.
Oh!
T-junction.
Oh!
What a T-jump.
Clearly, we're going left first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Going left first?
Well, because you'd fall off that way.
Okay.
Wouldn't this double us back the way we came? I don't care.
Maybe.
I'm keeping track of
We're choosing to go left.
Cool.
We're following impulse right now.
And then that's going to take you... eventually, the supernatural darkness ends, and you find yourselves at the front of the building. From the left hallway.
And so you see some traps that have been set off?
Yeah.
I hate this place.
And that's going to be you guys, as we're going to move back up to this. And your flashlights, now active, are going to... Let's see. He doesn't quite... They don't. They're going to do it anyways.
Uh-oh.
As Ali, you hear just a... nothing happens.
It's insidious.
You just hear it, and for a brief moment, like, your phone light flickers, but otherwise it stays on. And then we have Ali and Robin. Ali, you are no longer hindered or dazed.
That's good to
Oh, I
know.
was hindered and dazed?
No,
I-
Ali.
Oh, sorry.
From the concussive blast.
Yep.
Being assaulted.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
I heard something, and I'm not certain what it was, but there was a pulse.
Okay.
It may have been electric. The phone light flickered. I don't know. There was some form of a pulse.
Let's keep an eye out for future ones, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
What would you two like to do?
She
we're
won.
going down
She
the-
won Rochambeau, so we're creeping down the hallway carefully with the phone lights, doing our best to spot things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, as you make your way towards the first turn, you enter a little pocket of supernatural darkness, but you know you can turn to the right. Yes, Isaac.
As a rules thing, you can take a standard action to heal once per session, basically. So if you want to heal off that wound with your standard, given that you're not using it, just moving, if this turn completes without using a standard action, you can use it to heal off that wound.
It's a matter of would you like to be looking or take care of your wound? Like, would you like to be actively searching for something, or would you like to clear that out?
I'm of the opinion that one wound is one wound.
Get out of here with your regen.
It'll take care of itself in, I don't know,
like
a
12
turn or two.
seconds.
Yeah. I'll be fine.
I'd say we're early enough in the combat that we can spare it if you want to.
I don't know what you mean by spare it.
Spare the standard.
I was gonna say, I think to just like pause in the walking and take a moment to catch my breath. I would like to flavor it using the standard to like stop walking for a second and try and heal the wound. Since that's apparently a thing that you can do to take care of it. Is to
Dax, is there a name for that mechanic?
It's called recover.
Cool. What does she make? What sort of check?
It's a defense check +2.
It just you take an active defense on that turn and you heal a wound.
Oh, cool. But you can only do it once per combat.
Yeah.
Cool.
remove highest level of
session.
damage or fatigue.
So you get rid of your wound.
Oh, you can take fatigue out too.
Make a
Damage
resistance
four.
check 1.
I'll look up the
per
specific
combat.
rules on recover.
Thank you.
Wait, you have to make a resistance check?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll worry about that next turn.
Sure.
For this turn, we'll keep walking while rules are being looked up.
Yep. So would you like to walk into the pocket of supernatural darkness?
Such a fucking sentence.
Can you throw that rock in there first?
Like to
You
toss the
toss
rock.
it, and you just hear a...
Oh shit, we set something off. I'm gonna go. Can we go back down?
Would you like to go back into the lobby area, effectively? The first pick a direction area? Because you've barely stepped into this hallway.
I want to take a couple steps back and let that alarm finish alarming.
As it does so,
I was gonna say I want to
You want
use my
defense?
standard to take an active defense.
pick a defense.
Oh, you have to pick
Parry.
Parry?
Mm-hmm.
When it
Sure.
comes background, visit the DM. No,
Because this is a situation where she cannot see a potential threat, I'm having her pick one.
Okay.
Usually you declare active defense, and you have an active defense.
Out of both. Okay.
So
Interesting.
parry in this case because if something's coming at me in a ranged method, I'm probably not gonna see it.
Sure.
Just parry.
And just make a perception check for me.
Got it.
Allie, you're welcome to make one as well.
Nice percept.
24.
I see nothing.
You see two little, like, mechanical spiders crawl along the ceiling and, like, periscope at you for a second. And they just stop there and they're, like, pointed at the two of you.
And the machine guns pop out.
No. Then the flamethrowers pop out.
Okay, you looked up the rule. What is the rule?
Get rid of your highest level of damage.
Okay.
You can also make a resistance check, like if something's poisoning you.
Oh.
So your highest level of damage is gone. You can't do it again. When you do recover, you take an active defense with a +2.
Okay.
Oh, and a +2
Cool.
to it.
Thank you.
I have used all of my actions
Mhm.
that I can this
Yeah.
turn.
Yeah.
But I'm aware of them.
Mm-hmm. And
what
then
it
that
comes
moves us
down
to this turn.
I know what I'm doing though. Next turn.
Smash the
Damn,
spiders.
they're still there.
Smash the spiders. Smash them.
Gonna
So
jump up and
he's gonna
pound. What you gonna do?
Steal them.
He knows this.
Sell them back to Kurt at an exorbitant price.
We have your hostage too.
Make his way to
There's no way you can make more of these.
And then we move to that. He doesn't matter in the initiative order
Oh.
yet. And then Rin.
Back the way we came.
Yeah.
As you can hear an alarm going off from the far side of the building.
But faster.
Much faster. Let's go.
Any of the martial arts you study, do you ever do killing intent?
What?
Okay, I'm gonna take that as a no. You can feel when they're trying to hit you. When people are looking at you, you know that feeling in the back of your neck?
Yes.
If it gets dark again, watch out for that.
Okay. Rin is going. She's on Isaac's axis, so she's not controlling her movement very much. But she has had a variety of snippets of martial arts training.
Yep.
So as they're
She's
walking,
had the first day
if
of
it
a
does
lot.
get dark again, she just kind of.
Well, as your hand standing on Isaac on the ceiling, and making
It's
your
like
way,
meditation.
yeah, as you're making your way through without a sense of nausea and without the blood running to your head, despite being upside down, you quickly escape the globe of darkness and find yourselves again at that door on the right that leads into the supply closet, as you know, or you could continue moving forward.
Forward, explore the other one. Go
Forward.
deeper in.
Cool. You guys are gonna move forward. Make a perception check.
23.
8.
23. Isaac, it's very easy for you to find the. There's a similar set of those red rows in this hallway, about halfway through. The same kind that you've already encountered, that Rin has already encountered.
Same. Width
Same ladder.
as well.
Yeah, same ladder stack.
It's cooler if we both try it. If we go horizontal, your hand's standing, right? We just go.
Yeah,
all
that's so
the way
cool.
through.
We
We can do it.
That is a technical thing we can do.
We can do it. We're already at the setup. We practiced.
We practiced.
Is your hair tied up enough?
It's
Always.
glued.
Okay.
Also that.
I'm gonna
You've been
quick
shellacked.
button up the shirt.
Button up the shirt. That's adorable. No loose shirt falling and triggering anything.
Mm-hmm.
Rin's just kind of like sitting on the wall next to him, holding his ankle while he's doing that.
Puts down the bleach.
Wait, why don't we just throw the bleach through it?
Can you pour the bleach on you and maybe clean something?
That
Yeah,
also
let me
sounds like a
pour
great way
bleach
to
on my
die. I regenerate. I'm not immune to bleach effects.
If we throw it through, then they'll know we're here. We still have the element of surprise if we can get through without them knowing
Rin
us.
vaguely motions to the sound of an alarm happening in the distance.
But was it us though?
Oh, their attention is drawn to the other side of the building. That's true.
Because the only thing we tripped was the glue trap.
Okay, and since we knew what that one did, if we hit a laser, we jump for it.
Just commit. Commit.
Yeah.
Or should we commit the other way?
Forwards. Always
Commit
forwards.
forwards. Cool.
And you guys go horizontal. You managed to speak your way through. It's a cool solution.
Sick.
Yeah, and it takes a turn to the right, and you find yourselves in a long hallway, and that's where we're going to end your actions. As we move back up to the top, this is going to come this way, and Robin, Allie, you find yourselves once more in that globe of supernatural darkness. You watch almost as it follows you
Rude.
and coats you.
Like glue.
I think this is just going to keep following us. We probably just have to power through this and just keep walking.
Well, actually, it doesn't land on you. It moves to pretty much precisely where the alarm went off.
Oh.
Are the little spiders up top still?
They've disappeared.
Ah, damn it.
Do we just go through and to heck with it all?
Which Mission Impossible is?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's just keep going straight. And the alarm's already going off. It's not gonna go off twice.
Uh-huh.
We're not
Brace
sure
yourself
about
if something else explodes.
that. Double alarm.
They're talking to each other.
So yeah, take an active parry defense and try to power through the darkness.
Sure, yeah. You hit a wall.
Clunk.
Like, you come to the end and you hit a wall because
Uh-huh.
you can't see.
Cool. Is there a turn?
None to your left, but you can continue to your right.
Cool.
Where you do so and you hit a wall again.
Clunk.
And it turns to the right. And you hit a
Okay.
wall again.
We're just
Turns
returning
to your
back.
left. And eventually you make your way into a hallway with no turns. And you kind of reach the end of the supernatural darkness.
Mhm.
And that's going to be your turn.
Cool.
So we're going to wait for our boy to get back. These guys have to figure out what to do. Can he make it there? He knows.
Okay, so
So-
mechanical spiders say Kurt. Darkness says remove.
Which one of you is in the lead?
Initiative-wise, it's been Allie.
No, physically.
Physically, Robin was putting herself in the front.
I think that makes more sense, if only because Robin's more of a needs to touch them, and Allie is a distance fighter. It would just make more sense to put Robin in front.
Yeah, Robin's putting
Allie,
herself
can
in
you
the
make me a fortitude save?
Oh, shit.
Fuck, you're in the back. They just rogued you.
We're gonna.
I spend another hero point.
front.
That's
better.
significantly better.
That's a lot better.
That's an 18.
Okay. Suffer 1 wound and make me 1 more fortitude save.
That's what happens.
I'll describe it in a second.
Something horrifying. That becomes a 10.
You are considered to be fighting impaired, so on any checks involving fighting specifically, which is going to be the fighting skill, so close combat, you are at a -2.
Okay, so if I try to punch someone, I'm sucked
as
from
you,
that doesn't apply to you.
As you feel this like quick sharp against like a nerve cluster on your neck.
Oh,
You just got Vulcan nerve pinched.
ouch. Okay.
And as you turn to look, like whatever it was is in the supernatural darkness.
Can I just remove the thing?
Oh no, it was a fucking
It was a nerve pinch.
it was
Oh,
a nerve
They pinched
strike.
the nerve.
Okay, I didn't know if I got like a dart shot at me
No.
or something bit me.
No,
Something
but that
bit me.
is an additional wound. So you have 2 wounds now.
Only one. We got rid of the first one.
Right.
Recover the first
Thank
one.
you.
And as flavor for that, it's Allie's just staying there for a moment, focusing on her own circulation and rerouting things.
That's tight as fuck. That's also how you get gangrene. So do it sparingly.
Yeah.
It's for
It's
a
flavor.
moment.
It's flavorance for a moment. We're fine.
No, I
I'm
mean,
a superhero, screw you!
It's admittedly tight as fuck. If this was an anime, they would do like a zoom out moment where it shows her blood as like building blocks and it'd be like rearranging them and be really tight.
Yeah.
Sick.
But like
This is an anime. Live
in
that
reality,
world.
damn.
Live that world. This is an anime.
Crazy.
Dax, in case you missed it, they made their way through the supernatural darkness, kind of stumbling, and something came out of the darkness very quickly. They didn't see what it was, struck Allie, and disappeared back into the darkness.
Fucked me up.
Dick move.
I got punked.
Yep. And then we move to Rin and Isaac. You are faced with a straight hallway in front of you, but you can see it branches off to the right ahead, or further to the left at the very end of the hallway.
Oh, 2 breaks, right or left.
Wouldn't right take us back into the center again?
Then let's take left.
I love your mental map because it is literally perfect.
Oh, I'm not paying attention.
Whereas so far he's got this mapped out like perfectly.
I sure don't. But let's go left.
Cool. So you guys are going to continue down the hallway. Please make perception checks.
Natural 20.
Nice.
11.
Yeah, you see it. There's like this sort of sprinkler looking trap from the ceiling that is like casting this soft glow below it.
Huh.
Weird.
Let's not go into the glow.
Yeah, you guys are on.
Don't go
you guys
into the
can
light.
just go on the ceiling and go around it. Yeah, you go around it, and that quick left right leads you to an open room. Effectively, that room. Yeah, it's gross for second floor. Yeah, that room. It's kind of vacant. There's a door across from it, a thin layer of dust coating everything, but this is the first room where you've had any natural visibility. There's a single light hanging on a rope, swinging in this room.
Swinging. Ominous. That means something's altered its momentum, or it's on a mechanism. Someone.
So you basically came in. There's a door on the other side. The room is, like I said, that thin layer of dust. It's kind of levels of dust, and on the left you can see a staircase leading up.
Any wind?
None that you can feel.
Sketchy.
Very. Up then?
Yeah, I can't think of what the light would trigger, so maybe we should just go around the light and go
Yeah,
upstairs.
like hug walls.
And you guys are going to make your way to the second floor at the start of your next round. As you climb the stairs, I'm going to assume carefully checking these stairs. And
On a natural 20 perception check, you know it.
yeah, because this is still effectively the same round.
That we're using the bottom of them.
Yeah.
They all leave traps on the top. We're just walking up the bottom of the one, like the level above us.
Kind of, yeah. Until you can't do that anymore, but kind of, yeah. And you don't see any traps on the staircase, but you do see like a couple sets of footprints on it, like very thinly made out in the dust.
Do I recognize these footprints?
What a weird question.
Go to Sherlock Holmes this. What is
look-
their size?
Human.
Is one of your flaws foot fetish?
That's actually one of my quirks.
It's not a flaw, by the way. Anyone watching, I don't judge. Just making a joke. Yeah, no, you cannot make out whose shoes these might have been.
But they are most certainly shoes.
There's one pair of shoes and one pair of feet.
Especially weird.
So Ares isn't here.
That is
As far as you can tell, yeah.
yeah. Although he could have just
Theoretically,
flown.
Fia wouldn't either. Fia has cloven feet, like
Oh,
proper
yeah,
hooves.
she
She's
got
very
them.
satyr.
She got them hooves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so which of our classmates don't wear shoes? I know it's not Terrence.
Ramona was here.
Does Ramona wear shoes?
They're going.
We're gonna find out.
Are we fighting our classmates?
You don't know. You have no idea who you're against right now.
Possible. I'm sitting here thinking like maybe it's class 1B.
Helena Handbasket's waiting for us at the end.
Yeah. Ali Robin. The globe of supernatural darkness just follows you down the hallway,
All right.
and like it goes past you for a second. Like you can kind of feel it like a force, and then takes a step back to you. And like.
It's trying to predict our movements, but it's not perfect.
Ding, ding, ding. And brings us to Ali and Robin.
So do we try to attack whatever's inside of it, or keep walking and... Because I just got bit, and that hurt.
Unless you have a way to perceive through the supernatural darkness.
There is a high-pitched sound going on, Missy. I can't hear you right now.
The only sound still going on is the alarm. The high-pitched droning, you hadn't asked about it, so I hadn't said anything, but it has in fact ended.
Thank fucking goodness. Okay, I can only finally pick up... Okay, is there a heartbeat inside of that thing?
Yeah.
So I can't actually hear... And while I'm talking to her, I would like to cast Weaken, because that's subtle, and I can do that without anybody noticing.
You need a target.
And
The
also,
heartbeat on the inside of the cloud.
and
That's
also,
actually right.
she does ignore concealment. You do also need to pick an ability to affect.
No, it's great.
Pick an ability score.
Let me see if they reached out and snagged me.
Weaken their presence.
I was gonna say I know I want to go for
Where's the diplomacy?
fighting, actually,
For fighting? Okay.
because that'll affect. That's only gonna affect their parry.
You have to roll to
Their
hit.
parry and their close combat scores.
Yeah, because they just bit me.
They will
So you have to roll to hit, and then they have to roll a check.
yeah,
Yes.
fortitude.
I have to roll the hit first. Ooh, 8 and 6 gets me to a 14.
You do like feel that. You do actually like get that grasp on their heartbeat, but it's almost like just the rhythm of their heart repels you. They succeeded on their save. That's just me flavoring. Like you hit them, but they succeeded on their check.
A 14 hits. Good to know.
Okay.
14 hit versus their dodge, whoever they are.
All right.
But their fortitude was too high.
It's Virgil.
Virgil's in the darkness. I
He's
told you I'm not
human. I'm just a globe of darkness.
Given forward.
So just continue to follow unless I've got nothing to blast them
Alright.
with at the moment.
Then
You could also, if you can justify it, there's plenty of opportunities to power stunt in this dungeon, as it were, to come up with an alternate. I'd like to make like a blood slick or something like that.
Gross.
Yeah, you can do.
I'll have to think.
Yep.
I'm not good at thinking outside of what's on
For
my
sure.
sheet.
Just
Respect that.
absolutely fair.
So,
Anyone
thank
remember
you.
power stunts are a thing, and they may be how you need to get through some. Well,
Gotcha.
they may help you get through some of these
Gotcha.
bizarre
If
situations.
something comes up, I'll let you know. I'm not good at going beyond what's on my sheet. And that would be my turn. I made that attempt, and if you move forward, I will follow you with my movement. But
right now, our best way forward is to stay too far ahead of the darkness for it to follow.
so we're running.
Yes.
Cool.
You're gonna run down the hallway.
Until something else explodes in our faces.
Actually, you run like down the hallway, and
Something explodes in our face.
just another. as you trigger another alarm,
A boxing glove.
running forward. As like you catch it this time, you see what it is as you run through it, but you decided to run, so I decided that as a dungeon master a little more reckless, so you weren't actively searching. And this little sprinkler-looking cone above head that you run right through the light. You're like, hope that doesn't hurt. Let's just bowl through it, and it just sets off that alarm.
All right, stay away from the light.
And then let's see, that's you guys. I have like a little map and so many small tokens I'm moving. That was Allie and Robin, which brings us to this. He's gonna make that check and succeed, and this could be tough for him, but he's gonna go for it. Allie, make me a fortitude save.
That's an 8.
It's gonna be 3 degrees of failure. As you feel,
And I already had one wound.
that does not mean you're down. It means you suffer another wound,
Okay.
and on your next turn you are hindered and dazed, which you're half speed in one action. If you suffer 3 wound, like the 3 degrees twice, you drop, or if you suffer 4 outright, you drop. Like 4 degrees of failure once. So either 3 degrees twice or 4 degrees once. But there's just this sharp as your back tenses up, and go ahead and make me another fortitude save.
That's better. That's a 21.
Okay, you are not fighting impaired.
Thank goodness.
Do you have the matrix thing? The matrix thing?
The damage
Yes,
Yeah.
card.
yes.
Because 3 degrees of failure might last for a minute.
It wasn't on the status effect.
Oh, okay.
It was on the wounds. Or the wound, rather.
Got it.
Cool.
Because that wound condition lasts until recovered. So you are staggered until you are healed.
Cool.
Yep. Yep.
Yes.
Cool.
Good luck, my friend.
Why do they keep picking on Ellie?
Because I'm an easy target.
Yep.
Because I'm rude if I get a chance to hit you, so they're gonna make certain I
And then
don't.
that moves us to Rin and Isaac climbing up the stairwell. You find yourself on an open second story. They're here. He's there. They're here.
Open as in there's no maze.
Yeah, there's no maze here.
Ooh.
In fact, there's just a lot of those lights
swinging. I
and
hate
suspending, and
this.
it's creating sort of a strobe on this floor. And like, you can hear footsteps on this floor. This is open and broad. Like, whereas the first floor was all like tight spaces. Also, Allie, claustrophobia. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm in a tight space now.
You have been the whole time.
You've been in
Okay.
pitch darkness.
Yeah,
Great.
pitch darkness, tight space. I should have given that to you sooner.
Okay.
My biggest question is,
That's not great.
are all the lights swinging in unison?
No.
Oh, thank
You're gonna be dancing
God.
at work.
They're in
Constantly.
contrast, which is creating this.
Oh,
sort of
okay, that
strobe
makes so
through the
much more
floor.
sense. I was like, because if they're swinging in unison, that's ominous as hell.
Yeah, like there's certainly sets of them swing in unison, but they're like
Okay, but in general, they're all it's a cacophony of light.
yes.
See, and here I was ready to watch you tango across the floor.
However,
to like avoid them.
Your perspective to your left, there's a globe of darkness just blocking out a huge chunk of it.
That's ominous as hell. So what I'm going to recommend we do is weaken.
Just theoretically, that globe also cuts through the floor.
Oh, so we're only seeing like a hemisphere.
Yes,
Okay.
a hemisphere of darkness.
So what we should do is get on the ceiling and maneuver between these lights so that we aren't revealed by them.
So what I was to add to that is listen for the footsteps and just go
And just snatch them.
snatch them. Because either they're a hostage and we save them, or they're not and we just let them fall again.
Okay. Another idea. Another idea. You hold me by the ankles when we do that. I'll snatch down, bear hug, cover them in glue, and we just hold them.
Nice. Okay.
Okay. It's a plan. It's a plan.
Yeah, so listen for the footsteps.
So another gentle handhold as we walk along the ceiling looking for these footsteps.
Okay. As far as you can tell, they're coming from the globe.
Damn.
I should have asked that to the begin with.
Mm-hmm.
That's still really funny to watch, though.
But now we're navigating the room.
Wait. I look at the globe. I'm looking for like its center point.
And you just see a faint. just a very faint light through it.
Right there. I can just go fight her. And then I look away from it. Because she probably knows when she glows. I can just go fight her. Oh, yeah. You think she's the villain? Based on the traps we've seen, I can't imagine she'd be able to produce those. So maybe she's the hostage. If we fight her, we have to fight her fast. Okay. So, if you can get me to her, I might be able to knock her out. Can you see
Both of you make a stealth check, please. There's a lot of talking.
Oh, damn it. Stealth is what skill?
Based on, I think, agility. Unless you want to do it as presence, given that we are talking as opposed to walking.
Let's make it agility.
It is agility by rules, so that's what I'm playing by.
21.
15.
Okay. And you just hear, big bro?
From the cloud?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go talk to her. Okay.
So I calmly walk up
On
to
the ceiling.
No, I'm gonna go back to
Okay.
the floor. To be...
And that gives me a really quick question. Is this ceiling flush, or is it like those warehouse railing things?
Warehouse railing.
Ren's gonna try and monkey bar all the way across to try and find another stair set.
Okay. Yeah. You will find it at the beginning of your next turn, probably. You're not touching the floor, and I appreciate that.
Fuck this floor! These
really
lights
does-
are freaking
it's like
me
a
out.
Strobe, really. And so you are going up to the globe and talking.
Ramona, are you a hostage?
Is that you, bro?
No, but I'm here to get you out.
Okay.
Just walk behind me.
I don't know where you are.
Does this not sound like Ramona's voice anymore?
No, it is Ramona's voice.
Oh, okay. You don't know where I am? I'm the person talking to you.
I mean, I can hear you, but I don't know where you are. I can't see you.
Open your eyes.
They're open. I can't see you.
Okay, so I need to step into this whole darkness globe thing, right?
Even then, I usually can't see people unless they're right next to me.
I guess I'll just have to get right next to you then, won't I?
As I set off whatever trap that they have planned, if they're doing
There
this
isn't
as a
one.
villain.
There isn't one.
And I walk straight into the
Yeah, you walk
globe.
into the globe, and you find Ramona. She's basically tied to effectively a giant Roomba.
That's awful.
Oh, baby!
I take her off the Roomba and untie her.
So, yeah, you take her off the room and untie her, and her eyes are wide with panic. She does not, go ahead and make me, something close to insight.
Insight is a thing.
Make me an insight check.
That's a
Nat 1. 6 total.
She's scared.
great. I am too.
I untie her.
Glad we have
You
that in
untie her,
common.
she's like, thank you.
It's gonna be okay. I'm gonna get you out.
Like, she's physically shaking right now, and as you're looking at her, I do need you to make a reflex save.
A dodge check?
Hold on, let me double check.
I was like, reflex doesn't exist in this.
Yeah.
Play too many tabletops.
Yeah, dodge check.
14.
Okay. You are visually unaware, or visually disabled, as, you look at her, and that fear, she doesn't recognize you, and she flashes.
Okay. I would like to stunt with a advantage as opposed to stunt with a power.
Yeah.
Leadership allows you to remove the dazed, fatigued, or stunned from
Sure.
an ally, and I would like to use it to reassure her. And it will take 1 to stunt and 1 to use leadership. As I may not be able to see, but I'm able to reach out and at least grab her hand and let her know that I am here.
I am here.
It's all gonna be okay.
Got it all night. I have to have her roll a will save, and she fails. So I'm adding something else to the initiative.
Oh!
Her shadow fights.
I thought her shadow was already downstairs.
Her shadow surrounding her.
In
The
a
globe cut
massive
through the
bubble.
first floor.
She's so scary. It's a good thing Bryn's not afraid, because I am.
Okay, it's gonna go last in initiative, which is right after Isaac.
Appropriate.
So You hold her hand, and you just hear, "Get off of her." And a fist is going to crash into you from the darkness. It's got to roll versus your parry.
Mm-hmm.
And your
21.
It does not hit versus your parry.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. But this fist, like, you feel this force strike probably about as hard as Rin. Right in front of you.
As strong as me?
And then we're going to shift up to the top of the initiative order. That has been revealed. The lights in the room are going to start pulsing. Strobing. Which is going to, at the start of anyone's turn in there, you are going to have to make a save. It is going to be effective. Let's call it a fortitude save.
Is it upstairs or downstairs?
Second floor.
Fuck.
With all the swinging lights. They all start pulsing erratically. It's going to be a fortitude save against... where is it? Where is it? Where'd it go?
You said a fortitude save?
Yeah. Against days. Sorry.
Okay.
It's not a high DC, but it is a thing that has to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to go to Allie and Robin. Robin, you hear Allie cry out as something strikes her.
Mm-hmm.
Is the bubble of darkness still behind us?
No,
Or
it
have
is
we
in a
outpaced it?
it is in a completely different place now because Isaac moved that bubble.
Is there anything else in the darkness in the hallway behind us?
You're looking at Ryan. He is barefoot, dressed in black garb, with like a little mask on.
He cute. What a punk.
And like you see him assuming like a martial stance.
Villain? Cool! Just go to assume it! And I would like to try and afflict the boy. That might work. 19.
19 does hit his dodge.
Okay, then that's a fort save DC 15 for the affliction.
What's the affliction?
It's the dazed, stunned.
Incapacitated. It's not the weaken where I'm trying to affect a stat.
What's the 2 degrees of failure?
Oh, the 2 degrees is stunned.
Okay. And you watch as Ryan reels for a second.
Who?
Well, I mean, she's still looking at us, so she knows.
Who are you finding?
Ryan, can you... Not Ryan. Robin! I'm looking at
Cool.
Ryan.
You alert Robin to Ryan's presence.
Robin! Ryan's here! Can you do a thing?
Who's here? Holy shit!
Yeah, you turn around and Ryan is in the hallway, staggering,
Leaking
stunned.
blood now.
A little bit.
We determined that people are objects?
Yes. as per the rules of the system. people
All
are
right,
objects.
Robin.
Awesome.
That's a very Robin thing to say.
It matters for powers.
It does, but it's still a great sentence.
I would like to attempt to pull Ryan to me.
Yep, I know what you're doing. And if I remember correctly, that's not an attempt. It just is. It's perception.
It is perception based. Limited direction towards me.
Yeah.
It is rank 4.
As you rip the air in front of you and create a vacuum by manipulating the density, and Ryan just
That's so effing
hurls to directly in front of you. That's your standard.
That is my standard.
That's all we got so far.
I don't particularly want to.
Sure. Allie, you have no idea why you're in pain or why you've turned around.
Or why I just have like blood, like it's just like circling around my arm, ready to be used.
You were like, Ryan's here. What am I doing?
What the
Yes.
holy
That's
shit?
exactly what it is, though.
Okay. Small dark rooms. Robin,
That's-
what happened?
And as you turn around to Robin,
Yeah,
just
holy shit.
Ryan's there.
When did he get here?
You remember? No, the moment you look at him, you remember everything.
Oh god. Okay.
It's
okay.
not fresh memory every time.
I hope Panacea can put this back. Okay. Cool.
But
cool.
do you want to do anything with your move action? Do you want to go ahead and go for another standard? There's ways to do that.
Extra effort, yo.
Yeah, you could extra effort.
In which case,
He's currently stunned,
Yep.
he is currently stunned.
which doesn't lower his defenses, but
But
it
he
makes it so
can't
he
take
can't do
actions.
anything.
Yeah. If he had something like defensive roll, he couldn't use it.
In which case, I would like to. I want to I guess extra effort for another standard to.
You will incur fatigued.
Unless you spend a hero.
Unless you spend a hero point.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take the fatigued for now.
Okay.
And attempt the damaging touch attack linked to my affliction to make him super dense.
Yeah, so you're trying to make him hyper dense.
Yeah.
Cool. Roll to hit.
Ooh, sorry.
That was very aggressive.
It's the same number. Same
Well,
number both
You
times.
can take the higher one. That's the good news.
Yeah, the bigger 3.
Wonderful.
So you rip the airstream,
It's a 10.
like you manipulate the density, create the air vacuum, pull him in front of you, and you go for this touch on him, but he slides a little out of your range. Like this is the first time you've used the vacuum on another student, and so he just barely past you. He's still adjacent to you, but that is my flavor for your miss. And at the start of your turn, and for the next hour, effectively, or not the next hour, but until you spend an hour resting, you are at half speed.
Okay.
We're not doing well down here.
Nope. And then it's going to go to him. And
He's
is
stunned.
yeah, and at the end of his turn he has to roll to save against that, I believe. What's the DC?
15.
He's going to clear that stunned off.
Okay.
And like you watch as his eyes, he blinks a couple times and he looks at you. And he just assumes his stance again.
What a nerd.
Yep. And that's what he does.
I've got an enemy on my side.
He's stunned though, so he can't do anything else this turn, or he would. And then it moves us to that person who's not there, and then it moves us to Rin and Isaac. Rin.
So I'm monkey barring up above the lights.
You find the staircase at the other end of the room.
And I'm going to take it.
Cool. Though I will need you to make
The
me
fortitude
a
save against
save.
daze?
Yeah, DC 14.
DC 14? Well, I fail. So I'm
How many
dazed.
degrees?
2, 8. I'm at an 8. So
8 degrees.
2 degrees.
Okay, yeah, you're dazed. So you spend your turn like
eyes
blink,
closed,
yeah.
throwing myself to that fucking
Yeah.
staircase, and I just like stagger in and like hit the wall. I'm like, ugh.
and then it's gonna bring us to Isaac. You are in the globe of darkness. Ramona is adjacent to you. You are still holding her hand.
I'm going to proceed to pick her up in my arms with the feet using Wing Chun footwork to find the edge of the outer wall.
Yeah.
What is assumed to be the outer wall, put my back to it so I can't be flanked, and speak to the shadow. I don't know if you understand speech or not, but if you really want to help her, you're going to punch as hard as you possibly can and take an active defense.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead and make me a persuasion check.
What are you planning?
17.
Plus presence. Oh, I thought you had a really high presence for some reason.
No, Isaac does not.
He's trying real hard.
He's trying. He's overcompensating for
I
the fact
have
that it
a
doesn't
negative
have anything naturally.
presence.
Okay, and that moves us from Isaac to it, and it's going to do what it does, which is punch really hard.
Active defense would bring me to a DC 25 to hit.
24 does not hit 25.
Nice.
Punches out the wall behind me.
Yeah, it's going. The wall has to make a toughness check, and it fails.
Thank goodness.
The wall has to make a toughness check. Is me not knowing the hard miss rules.
If it's iron, it's 7. Reinforced concrete will be 8. Steel is 9.
That's their toughness.
Hardness.
Hardness.
Toughness, yeah.
I don't know. Let's see. Toughness.
So you have one of those things that details it because I read it once.
Yep, this
It
weighs
is
about an inch.
10 plus its hardness, I believe.
Okay, so its toughness was that. So it doesn't roll. It just that's its toughness. It's effectively that, and this thing does more than enough damage to shatter a hole in the wall.
Thank you.
But this is wobluminum, and you see it slowly closing.
I take extra effort to do another action, convert
sure.
it to a move action, and
And
go
get out.
around the building to get her back to the starting point.
Yeah, you get her to the starting point. The globe follows with you the whole time, thrashing and trying to rip you from the physical contact with Ramona. She has begun crying and is in a panicked mess. However, you manage to get her to the starting zone and drop her off effectively, and because I'm a kind person, get out of the globe, basically. And so long as you're out of the globe, like, it doesn't seem like it can affect you for now. That's going to bring us to the top of the initiative order, which is that person. The lights are going to stop strobing, and you're just going to hear, hello.
Sigh.
Fuck.
And that was Ramona's shadow.
I presume from the top of
Kurt.
the stairs.
Now we go to Allie and Robin.
Just gonna look at Ryan like, are you a villain or are you a hostage?
Hostage.
I want to roll to see if he's lying to me.
That's insight.
This little bitch.
He's lying.
I had to check!
He not wants his lie.
Sweet!
Poor sweet little boy.
I'm curious, so I'm just gonna nat one. I'm not. I'm better than that. And I'm just gonna fling his blood back at him in a blast.
Sure.
Boom.
You're rolling versus dodge.
I'd like to spend a point, re-roll that.
I love the hero points just getting thrown out here.
That's significantly better.
You know,
that's
that's
a 21 to hit
that's
this
a lot
boy.
better
It's a
than
DC
2
20.
threes in a
DC
row.
20?
Uh-huh.
Toughness?
Yes.
He's going to suffer 2 wounds, so he's dazed. He's going to suffer 1 wound and he's dazed on his turn. Boom. As his blood strikes him in the face, and he just,
You pull his blood out of him and give it right back.
yeah, like it mats through his hair and he ungunks some of it.
Ew.
And like his eyes focus in a determination that you haven't seen a lot of from Ryan. He's always been very kind and polite. And right now he looks like he's out for what he's out for. Robin, it is your action.
Awesome. I'm going to make a close combat attack. To
So you're attacking versus
the
fighting.
affliction.
Or versus parry. Rather.
It's better than last time.
It is. By 5%.
Is it? It's a 7.
What's the total?
7.
That's the 7.
Oh no! You like, it comes in and he very quickly like gets his arm under and pushes you out of the way.
Dang.
Just enough momentum.
Kid's impressive.
He's been studying one thing since he got here, and that's martial arts.
Who?
I'm proud of him.
And with your move action, or would you like to try and go ahead and extra effort again?
What about it? Sweet, sweet, exhausted.
That sweet,
Woo!
sweet exhausted. I would like to use my move action to fly up to the ceiling,
Sure.
and then extra effort to vacuum him to the ceiling as well.
Cool. Cool. So you're extra efforting. So at the start of your turn, you're going to be both impaired and hindered, which means -2 on all checks from here on out, and at half speed for the rest of the dungeon, effectively.
Yeah,
Cool.
exhausted does not go.
So you're gonna vacuum him up.
Yep.
Cool. Isaac, fall damage rolls for 60 feet. Fall damage rolls.
We're just asking the rules.
Okay. 60 feet, how many ranks is that?
That's 1.
1 rank. It would be a 6 damage effect.
Okay.
And they can make an acrobatics check if they are trained in it to lessen that.
Okay. The acrobatics DC is
5, but how many, what was the check total?
The DC is 5?
the check total for
The acrobatics check.
the acrobatics. 16.
Okay, so they would reduce it by 3 because you have 5, 10, 15.
Okay,
so it
got
would
it.
go down to damage rank 3.
And he is going to. So damage rank 3 would be a DC 18?
Yeah.
He's going to suffer another wound. As he is vacuumed up to the ceiling and promptly falls.
Desk. Desk.
Get wrecked, son.
And then goes to his turn. And he's going to reach into his pocket. Pocket sand you.
Pocket sands!
So
The
he's,
bitch!
Sand.
he's rolling versus your
Vacuum. Suck it in your
versus
face.
your dodge, and he nat ones that.
Ooh.
And he's gonna extra effort,
Ooh.
and like he throws that pocket sand up, and hiding his strike in the arc of the sand throwing up, he just goes for a throw punch on you.
Okay. I still have. Oh, I'm not in my favorite environment. Screw that. I'm on the
You're
ground.
on the
I'm
floor.
on the fucking ground in a tiny little hole.
So he's gonna hit you. Go ahead and make a fortitude save.
Oh.
How tough are you?
Not very. That's an 11.
11 total.
Yeah.
Wait, is this a fortitude save or a toughness check?
Fortitude save. Alternate
So it's a
resistance.
12.
It's a 12.
I can count. I can definitely count. That's a
And are you
12.
including all of the wounds you've taken? As
Oh, if
penalties?
we are including wounds, then it's a 10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's gonna be another 2 degrees of failure. So you'll suffer a wound and you are dazed. And then I need you to make a fortitude save versus the fighting impaired affliction.
Okay.
Fuck.
Am I still hindered? Because I still had that stuff going on for a
Yes,
while now.
you
Okay,
are going
cool.
to be dazed and hindered until the end of the dungeon.
Okay, so I'm twice dazed.
You cannot be dazed twice. You're just very, very dazed.
Okay.
You get a single action and half speed. Both of you are dazed and hindered. Well, you're dazed and hindered. You're hindered and impaired.
Yeah.
Okay, because I still had those, and I hadn't
Mhm.
fixed those, because I was told not to fix those.
Those will not be fixed until you are proper fixed.
Correct.
Okay, so I'm still hindered. I'm dazed. I just took 3 wounds. What was next?
That was it.
No, I have a total of 3 wounds.
Yes.
That's it.
I need you to make a fortitude save
Thank
against the fighting impaired
I
affliction.
knew there was
That
one
his nerve
more
strikes him.
something.
Yep. Nerve strikes.
Okay, that's a 21 for
Cool. So you are not fighting impaired. Then he's going to use his move action to run
Yeah, that makes sense.
Who's
as he darts out of your vision and out of mind.
Who? Oh. You guys okay?
You're not here to ask.
And then we shift back up to Rin.
Rin,
At the end of the room, this is another flat room. You see Kurt and Jareth bound against a wall.
Fucking Jareth? How
You're
is
like-
he even here?
He's not for you.
Oh!
Shall we?
About how far away is Kurt?
This warehouse is probably about 100 across, so you can get to him.
100 across. Well, I'm currently hindered, so I need to know how much effort I'm putting into
It's
getting
100
him.
feet. And
So he's
you're-
on the other side.
Yes.
Okay, so he is 100 feet away, so that's going to be a journey.
And as far as you can tell, he's just got a simple shield created right now.
Okay.
You can see, like, discarded pieces of scrap throughout the room.
Cool. Well, here we go. Extra effort. And then I jump at him. And because I'm extra efforting, I'm next to him now. And it's just to throw that fist out.
Hey.
That's going to be a critical hit if a 23 hits.
Yeah, his shield uses interpose.
His shield uses interpose. What a bastard.
Yep.
So his shield has to make a toughness check against a DC 26.
His shield crumbles. And his reaction-based trigger goes off as the shield shatters, and he grabs the fragments midair and turns it into a cat of nine tails.
At least it's not another shield.
That's so cool.
Yep.
All right.
And that is his reaction, but it's not his turn yet. It is currently Isaac.
It's still my turn.
Yes! Do it!
And then I extra effort for the next hit, which is just going to be a palm strike straight to the stomach.
Yeah.
And I'm going to need to roll this dice better. Does an 18 hit?
An 18 is going to hit his
He needs to make a will save.
Oh, I know what you're doing.
The DC 16.
He does succeed the will save.
All right, so that comes
So he
in,
catches your bluff.
and he throws those down just as he sees the other fist
And he's going to try and cover you.
coming straight for face, and that's going to be a 14 to hit.
14 does hit.
Does hit, and he needs to make a 21 DC.
He is dazed and suffers a wound.
So Rin, she throws in that, and it's a very obvious boom.
Yeah, he goes to block, but sees
And
the
in
block.
that single second, that's all that Rin needed, is she just...
Mhm.
And the only way she can manipulate her muscles to move this quickly is by blowing them up.
Yes.
As she not only did this crazy leap, she's coming in with all these hits.
Mhm.
And now she's like basically against the wall, like, damn it.
And
I just used
he's-
everything.
He's very clear, like...
Actually, you know what? I'm only fatigued.
Nice.
Cool.
No impact.
As
Nice,
the
nice.
glue holds my muscles together.
Yeah, it does. That's fucking sick.
Yeah.
That's sick as hell. Isaac, it is your
Need
action.
a glue suit.
Back at the drop-off with Ramona.
She's still frightened as heck, right?
Yeah, she's panicking.
I did not leave the shadow cloud.
Okay.
I'm going to basically hug her and hold on to her while she is panicking,
You hero.
and tell the shadow that unless it can hold on to her for me, then I'm going to stay, and I will take an active defense if I need to.
Its action will be, I'm the only thing that ever has to hold on to her. And it's going to push you. It is going to try and make a forced, effectively, strength knockback attack on you.
Does it have to hit first?
It does.
Okay.
So you get that active defense.
As you feel this sweeping hand come surging forth, and you refuse to break this hug.
It doesn't have to be just one. Help me.
You gosh dang hero.
And then we're going to move to Kurt,
Hey, buddy.
who's going to hurl that cat o' nine down on you.
Do it, I
So
dare
he's
you.
making a multi-attack.
Fuck. 14 to hit.
14?
14.
Cool. One of those tails is going to... So I need you to make a toughness check, and then another toughness check.
20?
Okay, 20 is a success.
21.
Okay, as it's like one of the barbs touches you, and then an electric pulse from the tip of the whip that landed on you. But you succeed on both your toughness checks. So it's
So
like
it hits the glue.
it's like, and like the glue is smoking off of you in a disgusting manner. And he goes, "Oh dear,
Ah, dang, I made it too good.
Allie."
Can I hear the receding heartbeat that is Ryan as he vanishes? Cool, I'm going to follow the heartbeat that I can't obviously see.
She's like, who is this?
And,
Who is it?
yeah, who is this? And,
It's Surge again.
Oh, that'd be so fucked up.
You're running.
Hmm?
How are you moving?
Hold on. I, with my hearing, can get a distance sense. Are they within 100 feet of me at this moment? No. Okay, then yes, I will pursue, telling Robin, I hear a heartbeat.
What is your speed?
I'm hindered and dazed.
So what is your regular speed?
My regular speed is 900 feet in a round, and so
okay,
I'm...
so that goes down 1 to 500 feet. So 500 feet.
Mm-hmm.
That's flying. So you're flying?
I'm in a tight space. I cannot open my wings. I have to run, so I don't know how fast
So your speed would
run.
normally then be 0, and that's going to move to -1. So you move 15 feet.
Your agility is 2, rank 2, so it would go down to rank 1. So it's at least, I think, better than that.
Yeah.
Is agility speed?
Agility is your speed. It's what you purchased as your speed.
Yeah, I thought speed was its own separate thing. Damn. Then I'm so much faster than I thought I was.
We'll double check that rule at the end, but I'll go with it for now.
Cool.
At least I'm pretty sure. I can look it up in book.
I believe it.
I'll do
we'll
it
check
right now.
At the end. Yeah.
Okay, so what speed would it
Right
be?
now we're playing with you having 30 feet of movement.
Cool, then...
Right now we're playing with you having 60 feet of movement. I'm sorry. That is still not enough to catch him.
Double move? Can convert a standard
I
to
can I can only do one thing at a time right now. I am so clunked over the
you're
head.
dazed as fuck.
And just hope that Robin can go any faster, but I am going to pursue the sound I have because either it's running hostage or it's the villain I have to catch.
That's totally justified in world. I'm totally fine with that. Robin.
You got this?
She's gone.
I don't know!
She's gone.
I just told you I hear a heartbeat and
ran.
I'm following it. And so I go to follow the heartbeat.
It's not dark here anymore?
No. There's no darkness anywhere. I mean, it's dim light. Like, it's hard to see, but your phone light gives you enough.
Cool.
Just like an abandoned warehouse.
Then Allie's my best bet to find a person, so I'm gonna follow after.
Okay. Yeah, you follow after Allie. Allie, are you going to...
It's not your speed?
Agility is your gross speed. So, like, if you ever need to make a skill check that doesn't fall under anything, you would roll an agility for, like, the speed of it.
So it's the movement...
But the only way to increase your movement is with the speed power.
You fall, so you're fine.
Okay.
But no, that makes sense to me, because I was like, I'm pretty sure agility is not speed, and that speed is a superpower proper.
Yeah.
Speed
Or
is a power because I know that Rin has it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
And then we're going to... Do you want to catch up to her or go faster? Because you can catch up to her easily enough. But you have an extra action available.
I was gonna say, given that this is a maze, I don't know that I'm gonna take the right turns if I'm not with her. So I'm staying with her, and I'd like to use my standard to recover.
As far as it being a maze, you have taken the exact same route. Like, you guys, this hallway has been real linear. You're
Okay.
just backtracking through it.
Cool. Then I'll go ahead.
Okay. As opposed to
I
taking a
am
stand
at-
to recover?
I am at half speed though,
I know.
so I'm going the same speed as her.
Yes, but you have 2 actions instead of 1. She has 1 action, you have 2.
Okay.
Would you like to use the second action to recover or to move again?
I would
That's
like
what I'm asking.
to use it to recover
Okay.
because we will
so
fight better together.
clear a wound.
I don't think I have wounds. I just have the -2 to all checks and the half speed.
You can get rid of that too.
Yep.
Or you can get another resistance check against it.
Yeah, so roll a resistance check with a +2.
What am I resisting with?
Fortitude.
4. Got it. This is a raw roll.
Raw.
10.
Nah, 10's not gonna be enough. Because this was extra effort and extra effort again. So I don't think mechanically by the rules I would give you that roll, but I think it's totally valid. If you had a wound, you would clear it, but
Cool.
you don't. And then that's going to move us to him. He's going to... Let's see, he's got to roll to move extra fast. He's going to... Okay. You hear footsteps coming from the stairwell behind you. Like,
I don't care about those right now.
yeah, but you do hear, like...
I'm trying to electrocute me to death.
And then it's going to move us to Rin.
Alrighty. So...
As, like, this cat o' nine embeds itself in the glue, and he's just like, shit.
As now the punch is coming in, and I'll need him to roll another will save against DC 16.
He nat 20s.
He nat 20s. Great. So that punch he easily realizes isn't even coming for him, as Rin is using as a counterbalance to basically back kick him.
Nice.
He nat ones his
His toughness check?
if you hit him, yeah.
Yeah, I hit him.
What
Yes.
did you roll?
I got a 22.
Yeah, you back the heel just straight into his neck. And he drops.
And then I turn to Jareth and just, are you a hostage?
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll an insight against that. It's a 21.
Yeah.
Do you need help?
Yeah.
Should I just pull?
Yeah. And yeah, you like there's an electromagnetic sort of thing keeping him to the wall, which was fussing with his power, so he couldn't use it. As you rip him off the wall, and the bindings literally just fall apart around him. He's like,
And then I turn towards wherever the footsteps were coming from, and I'll just be like, you secure Kurt.
yeah,
I'll protect whatever's happening from over here.
yeah.
Jairus,
Isaac.
Jairus is the civilian.
Yep.
As far as my turn will possibly be, depending on what. Well, nah, I'll just be doing the defense again. But
Okay. Would you like to delay till after the shadow?
nah, because
Okay.
that would require not taking the defense. Just saying to it, if you love her, you will not deny her comfort, and then taking an active defense.
Okay. And you just hear, "You aren't providing her comfort," and the darkness is going to manifest. The globe disappears, and the summon goes off effectively. As
Ooh.
you are now like, it's almost humanoid in shape, except its arms end in these vicious, like 2-foot talons. It's impossible to make out any features of its face, but it is similarly wearing the hoodie that Ramona wears. And it just, like, you can feel it's not eyes looking at you. It's like, you are causing her discomfort. And with one action, it pulls its hand down, and a cylinder of darkness targeted on her appears, and you can no longer see her, despite looking at her. Like, she is beyond, like, lowest levels concealment. And it is going to move adjacent to you. Let her go. And then it's going to go to Kurt, who's unconscious.
Ha!
Then
Get
to
wrecked,
Allie.
bird.
Then to Allie.
Am I still able to hear? I have like 100 foot.
Gone.
Okay, then
Heartbeats to the left. You got you and Robin. You're both beaten pretty heavy.
you just read the infravision thing with me, so tell me if this is legal as I say this. Can I power stunt to add the tracking effect
Yes.
so that way I can
Yes,
follow
you
the
can
heat signature wherever the
100%
fuck
do
he
that.
went?
Because that boy's bleeding. You can just follow the heat signature of blood
And
trail
I
if you do
don't,
that.
and I want to. I'm under enough things. Negate the exhaustion, please.
Sure,
I
you're
will
good.
collapse.
I respect you.
As
You're
I
good.
just like.
You know that you know his exact path, and you can
Mhm.
probably navigate through this maze pretty safely.
Which is the plan, and it's
You two are both still hindered though, so this is going to take you an extra turn to get there.
Mm-hmm.
and she sort of stops, and the pupils of her eyes dilate out, and then she moves forward again.
And you find yourself moving down the central pathway, and again, in 2 rounds of initiative, you will enter the 3rd floor.
Cool.
That's just I'm being
We will
polite
follow
with the
them.
movements.
This is where we're going. I see him.
Because I don't
Okay.
like keeping people out of the fight for too long.
Mm-hmm.
Robin, would you like to do anything to try and aid this? If you can justify something, you might be able to get there faster. I'm just
Yeah.
winging it now.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a stupid idea.
Okay. So I've recently started working with vacuums and
Yep.
moving air particles.
Yep.
Can I sense where the air particles have been moved, namely that a person has gone through
I mean,
them?
you know exactly where someone has gone because Ali is
Ali's actively tracking
literally a bloodhound right now.
I am basically wherever the heat signature was left behind. I'm following it.
Okay.
We know where he's gone.
Yeah.
So,
Literally, perfectly.
You can see things he's
But-
touched.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And you notice it is very precise. Nothing. He touches nothing. His footsteps are perfect distance apart from each other always, and it's very like it's not the full foot. It's just the
balls of the feet.
The balls of the
He
feet.
has
Yeah.
practiced this. This
Yes.
is way freaking cool. But
Yes.
with that vacuum, if you want to lower somebody's density so we can move the fuck through this and
yeah.
propel the shit
You
out of
lower
this.
you lower
Yeah,
the two of
I
you's
lower-
density, and I'll let that be a speed increase. That's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah,
go.
I lower our density, and yeah,
You'll get there
this is
at
how
the
you
start of
roll
the next
all the
initiative
time?
order.
this is literally how I fly.
Then it moves to his turn as you catch up to him in the next turn, not this turn. His turn, he's going to come up to you. And you see Ryan, and he staggers up the stairs. And takes his mask off. Did you stop him?
I'm gonna roll an insight against that.
Yeah.
Natural
Nat 20.
Yeah, you see through his bluff immediately.
Yeah. He's down.
Got it. And he sees your fists clench, and he's gonna come in. And like, he assumes it's a proper, like, not jujitsu, but ninjutsu stance.
Appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't know the difference.
jujitsu is the contemporary version, and it's very much a lot more grapples.
Oh!
Whereas ninjutsu...
Oh, he's gonna nerve strike me. Or at least try.
Ninjutsu's cheating.
Fucking
Ninjutsu's
Whenever possible, ninjutsu's
It's
cheating.
jujitsu, but cheating whenever possible.
Oh, interesting.
And
like
so he's going to run at you,
Respect.
and...
Can you get to me? I'm 100 feet away.
Yeah, he can.
Oh, wow. He's fast.
As long as he succeeds on that check, and he does, to increase his speed rank. Yep. And he's gonna come up to you, and he leaps and pulls his foot back for this quick snap kick to the face.
Tiny nerd. 14.
He rolls a 2.
Toe sand.
Like,
As it comes in, and Rin just tips it up.
yep. And that's his full turn. Is moving a snare. He goes up. And then we move from Ryan to Jareth, who's like securing the hostage.
You're the hostage, Jareth.
He's the hostage now.
Touche.
As he like rips off Kurt's coat and ties it around him.
Nice.
And he's like just taking parts of Kurt's apparel, like his scarf, and he's just behind his hands. He's like, this kid's a punk and can't get out of shit.
You're technically correct.
Yep. Thanks for asking a hostage for your help. Or his help.
I know
Whatever.
you're capable.
Yep. Capable hostage. And then turn order shifts her in.
This is all happening while she's batting a foot and fist out of the air. She's like, I knew you could do it.
Like, sure thing.
So now he basically like threw himself straight at her. This and then just to try and go for like the side of the neck and just knock this dumb kid out.
For sure.
Chop him. Give him the chops.
That's an 11 to hit.
Does not exceed his parry.
As she throws him a little too hard, and he kind of soars past, and she.
Yeah, it just for flavor, because you're coming for this sort of chop.
Mm.
He's just done this kick, his foot has gone past you, and he just catches here with his foot and uses that to sort of like roll onto the floor again.
And then Rin is going to put herself between Jareth and Ryan,
Sure.
locking eyes the whole time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you make a point not to break eye contact with.
Like when she's talking to Jareth, it's 100% eyes deadlocked on Ryan.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and after Rin, it shifts to Isaac.
Ask the shadow as a free action. Is it human contact?
Yes.
Then I take off my outer shirt and kind of wrap her up in it, take a step back, kneel next to her, and start kind of like humming and singing.
Mm-hmm. And the shadow lets you. It gets in between you and her physically and like places a talon under your chin. But it lets you hum your lullaby.
I'm feeling feelings.
Oh,
I'm
it's
feeling
not a
feelings.
lullaby. Find a way. Come back to you.
Yeah.
Something
As Isaac's got a
me.
song, and there's just this talon under your chin, and despite it being made of shadow, you can feel this blade is sharp.
And mechanically, I take an active defense
Mm-hmm.
if anything unexpected
Mhm.
would happen.
But it is leaving you alone for the most part. And Ramona on her turn regens. And then we move to Kurt, who's unconscious, and we move to Allie. Allie and Robin, you guys come up the staircase, and you see Ryan locked in combat with Rin. You see Jareth tying up Kurt
Sure.
against the back wall, as like the floor you just went on was these swinging lights and this weird pendulum motion.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a hole in the wall
All right.
that was mostly patched up.
Why
but
not?
there was still like a pinhole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And because I've been having you guys act on the same initiative, you still have a standard. I'll be kind.
Well, you don't.
Yeah. But Robin,
Mhm.
you have a standard here if you'd like to use it.
Uh-huh.
I just had to get us here.
Yeah. You found him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, I know, it's seeing the heat signature.
I call out to Jareth, you okay?
And he goes, "The fuck you think?"
You're welcome.
What can I say?
Let's get you out of here. And I want to vacuum him.
You
to
vacuum
me.
Jareth to you, and he's like,
Okay, I'm totally picturing the dip and the rose here. 100%.
As he just slides across the floor. Because he couldn't breathe for a second. Because you pulled him in a vacuum.
You make him breathless.
Yeah, sure.
For a second.
And you just hear,
Collapse your lungs a little.
what the fuck? And that is your standard. As we move to Ryan, who he's going to. He's like, sure.
I like this.
And he is going to go ahead and roll versus your parry. That's a nat 20. So that's a critical hit. He's going to go for increased effect. Actually, he's going to go for alternate effect.
Oh. What's he doing?
I need you to make me. This isn't a nerve strike. This is. Make a dodge check.
That was a powerful roll.
That was on the edge.
The strongest
Ooh,
roll.
I got a 13.
Fingers in the eyes.
Ah!
Visually unaware.
Dick.
And then for his move action, he just skirts behind Rin.
Okay.
Smart boy.
Okay. I'm going to make a quick perception check, because I believe I'm after him.
Unable to make perception checks because
Not
you're
visual.
visually unaware.
Not a visual perception check.
Okay.
I'm going to take that moment as those... And for my last motion, since my fist was out, I'm locking eyes with that bracelet as the eyes come in, and then I just... Killer sense, killer sense, killer sense, killer sense. And I'm going to try and detect him by his killer sense.
Okay. What did you roll? Perception.
22.
22 does not exceed a stealth check. You know you're fighting someone and you know they're nearby. You're not sure who it is, but they're close.
Can I use a move to? Can I use a voice
When we get to
yell
your
at her?
turn, it
Behind
is
you.
Isaac's turn. If you would like to do anything different here, Isaac.
I'm gonna have faith in my team.
Okay.
I...
And then we move to Kurt, who's out, and then we move to Allie. Allie, what would you want to do?
As the free action, because I still get a free and a standard, even though
Free
I'm
and 1.
a free and a something.
Yes.
I'm just gonna yell at Rin, behind you.
Cool. Rin, you're
And-
aware that something's behind you.
Mm-hmm.
And
And then I. What would I need to weaken to make his dodge worse?
agility.
his dodge or his parry? Dodge is his versus range, parries versus melee.
Then parry, so that'd be fighting.
Fighting, yes.
So I'm going to attempt a weaken. First, I have to try and hit.
It'll also make him less accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Correct.
It's this system's equivalent to strength.
11 and 6, that's a 17.
17 does exceed his dodge.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Then it's a DC 15. I'm trying to attack his fighting.
DC 15 what?
Fortitude.
Fortitude? He's going to fail by 2 degrees.
What's the exact number?
7.
So he is down 5 fighting skill.
Cool. He's down 5 fighting.
Mhm.
As it shakes his body and like blood.
Like his muscles seize
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. And then we're going to move to Robin.
That's a huge debuff.
Yeah.
Weekend's crazy.
I'm so glad you understand those numbers because I would not have known them.
Yeah, we'll
got
go
you,
over we'll
girl.
go over them, the
Thank
3 of
you.
us, at the end of the session.
That'd be lovely.
So Robin to Jareth, let's get you out of here. You're safe now.
Sure. And he magnetizes himself to you.
Dip and a rose.
No, just like
I
his
know.
hand to yours.
Uh-huh.
Lead the helpless hostage.
Sorry.
Why? You saved me.
I guess
Wink.
I did.
Either help me fight or go kiss somewhere.
Yep, and you're gonna take Jareth out.
Yeah.
Cool. And that brings us to Ryan. Ryan, who now with his really considerably lower fighting score, is going to go ahead and Okay.
And it is
He's-
incurable, so
Cool. Good to know.
it takes a while to shake for.
He's
to shake
going to
off.
go ahead
Has to go away
and
naturally.
use this. It's a subtle effect.
I don't know what's happening.
Maybe.
I need
It's
you to make a
cool.
will save.
A will save?
Yes. DC 24.
That's a 16?
Okay, against him you are considered defenseless.
Ooh! Well, I'm already blind, so defenses make sense. How long does the blind last?
The visually unaware,
Yeah.
Yes.
at your turn you get saves against it.
Oh, cool.
And then he's gonna extra effort.
Again, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep.
So he's exhausted after this.
Yep. And he's going to go ahead and just go for a strike on you. You are considered defenseless. Active defenses equals 0. He hits. Yeah, make a fortitude save.
Fortitude save or toughness check?
Fortitude.
And that's going to be a 19.
on the nose as he gets that strike against you, and it's this like an elbow perfectly to one of your nerve clusters on like your neck that would, Vulcan drop you as you've described it, but like your instinct kicked in just before it hit, and you like hyper metabolized just exactly right there, just and almost hardened your muscles against the nerve strike, and it leaves you as quickly as it strikes, like it's a glance off of you, but you're aware of where he is, whoever he is.
And then that vision comes back.
Yep.
And Rin ended like this. So.
Yeah.
Crunch.
Roll versus his considerably reduced parry.
This is a -5 power attack.
Committing.
That's a critical hit if an 18 hits. So he has to make a 31.
He fails by 6 degrees
So Rin just
him.
as he rolls a nat 1.
and with his hand grabs that arm that just hit him,
Oh
and then
my
this fist just
God.
boom straight to the dome.
And like
Gross.
you go for this power attack, and like right before you strike him, he's like, "Thanks for remembering me." As his head into the wall, and he just falls.
Panacea!
We're not done.
What?
No, we are.
I was gonna say, what?
As all the threats have been handled, and most of the conflict has been neutralized.
I'm not gonna look away from him just in case.
That's
No,
fair.
he's out. He's out.
He's trust me. He's
like a
very
wet cat.
Oh
Yeah.
no! Carry him gently.
Get away from me! Get away from me! This boy just stabbed me in the eyes.
At least carry him nicely.
You're fireman carrying a hostage at this point.
Okay.
All you know is I've got a body over my shoulders and I have to get it back.
Can we get outside? It's really small.
Yes.
I'm working on it.
Everyone gets outside, makes their way into the room where you see Isaac like kneeling, this shadowy talon at his. There'd be 2 more rounds, so. Actually, it disperses before they arrive, and the globe reappears around Ramona, and her light kicks back in, but it's faint and not pulsing like before. And like she has calmed down considerably, but doesn't seem to recognize you.
I'll wait as long as it takes.
But the party arrives to the globe of darkness, and the hostages rescued, the villains neutralized, and the encounter finished.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
go
did.
squad.
I forgot to read his Miranda rights.
Do that when he wakes up.
And Panacea is there, and she's like, "I'm so sorry, you sweet, sensitive boy." She places her hand on Ryan's neck. He's like, "Not gonna forget that one."
You did so good. That was so cool.
Thanks. Hey.
You did really well.
Yeah, that hurt
That was the goal.
a lot.
That was the goal.
Were you the villain?
I was one of them.
There were 2 of them?
Yeah,
Kurt.
They said there was 1.
they did.
But that's just what we knew. We
Yeah.
didn't necessarily know that there
Wait, there was
more.
just one. I knocked him out. Oh.
It's a good thing I'm not actually a villain, I guess.
Okay.
And
got it now.
like
I
then
can have this
Kurt gets
conversation.
healed, and then everyone one by one, like Panacea goes up to Jareth. When he locks eyes with you, Allie, like something triggers,
Oh shit.
and he like begins calling you vile things like bloodsucker, vampire,
The
crimson.
first insult that comes out, Rin is between them and just.
And then Panacea takes a step and just
No,
places a
Rin,
hand
Rin.
on Jareth, and you watch as his eyes just that haze just fades away. Are you okay?
Rin.
And then
Step
she goes
down.
over to Ramona, who you hear.
I'll
Who
explain
are you?
later.
And just
Explain later.
there's a touch, and then Ramona's like, what? Okay. Hi. How are you, Panacea? And everyone is brought back up, and Duplex and Virgil come into the room, and Panacea is politely stepping out. Duplex begins speaking.
Panacea, what on earth did you just do?
She's gone. Duplex. Is
Hello.
And Virgil. Virgil's like, I see you have questions.
Do we?
Who did that to Jareth and Ramona?
Me.
What do you do?
I'm surprised you haven't put it together.
I mean, I basically have. I just sort of want you to tell the others.
No. Please, Miss Lewis.
Okay. So, Virgil has the power to not only understand our darkest impulses, but activate them.
That's a worthy guess. You had a question, Mr. Tono?
I just want to know what happened to these two.
Me?
You answered that, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Is she right?
Partially.
Ooh, that's partial credit.
It is time for you all to learn the biggest secret the school has.
You're the mentalist, aren't you?
The mesmerist, yes.
Mesmerist, yeah.
That would be me.
Mentalist is a show. I'm fine.
Hello.
Hi.
Virgil Cowell, mesmerist.
Hi.
This information does not leave the campus, and I have already implanted the information so that if you try to tell someone else, you will forget it.
So are we going to get other explanations? Because there's got to be some other stuff going on other than just I'm the villain that they've all talked to you about.
What would you like explained?
How you got from high security prison to in charge of the school?
I was never taken to a high security prison.
He
Okay.
mind controls people.
Who could take him to a high
No,
security
it
prison?
wasn't mind control. The Paragons and I came to an agreement.
That's what I want to know.
What?
About the agreement?
Yes.
Just
They would disband, and I would help teach heroes.
Why?
Why what?
Why would you do that?
Because what I always wanted was reform.
what exactly it is. Has it been reformed?
Not yet. This is my first year teaching.
What exactly do you want reformed?
The way society approaches heroes as a whole. There's a couple of problems that we're going to begin to address as a class, and each student who goes through this is experiencing something from me and the reveal, as it were, after. The things we'll be going over. The things that I am hoping to change with this school. Effectively. 1. The approach to legislature surrounding heroes. 2. The approach to legislature surrounding psychic and psionic heroes specifically. 3. The elitism present in hero society. 4. The theoretical need to bridge a gap between supers and humans. When the gap doesn't exist, we are different things, and that is not good or bad. We live together. 5. I simply wish to create heroes so wonderful that a mesmerist can never exist again. I exploited holes and rules that the heroes could not. I'm going to teach each and every one of you how to work within those rules and stop someone like me. In my absence, there are villains who wish to claim the mantle of number 1. There are villains who are in the number 1 spot. I'm not going to create some specialized task force of hero bounty hunters, no. I'm going to make sure that if those heroes and if those villains should ever cross paths with you, there's a very clear winner from the moment they enter your line of sight.
Okay. Easy.
You said all of us were feeling something that you did?
I mean, each of you,
Are there
not
different?
so much.
Are there different triggers?
Yes.
And we've all.
The only one I've implanted in every student is that if you try and talk about me to someone outside of the faculty, you will immediately forget. For some of the students who were playing hostages, I implanted certain things to trigger parts of their powers that I knew would come up if the right psychological strings were pulled. For others, I put in triggers to alter the psyche of the heroes they would theoretically encounter. Jareth, for example, when he saw you, was to go off, as it were. As you might say, to go off. He was to compare you immediately and most viciously to the darkest parts of his thoughts, which, with all due respect, he is overcoming, but still harbors.
Yes.
Ramona simply forgot who you all were, and that terrifies the poor girl. Now, of course, they won't remember these states of altered mind, but they agreed to them beforehand. Various students are going through this exact process as we speak. You are not the only ones running. Each of these is running separately, but concurrently. Are there any questions I can answer? Mr. Tonu.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you need any more villains or hostages?
I'm going to be reusing certain students, yes.
So you do not need any volunteers.
Correct. Class B and C are also in the pool. But there were immediate connections that I wanted to work with in this group.
In this group particular?
Yes.
Meaning Class 1A?
Meaning Jareth and Allie have a particularly unique relationship, and there's a reason I brought them both on board. Meaning Rita and Rin have a particularly unique relationship.
Is Rita here?
No, not presently. She's not here.
Then I'm confused why we're bringing her up.
When I say you, I do mean the majority of 1A. You are correct in that, Tonu. Many of you have what I deemed to be the right psychology and the right approach to shape you into the heroes that I think the world needs. Many of those powers that could do just that are locked and hidden behind fear, and I have a way around that. Now, my goal isn't to supersede that so that someone can never be afraid. My goal is to help someone live with their fear. I am, personally, probably the best living human being to do that. Everyone's afraid of me. And if you're not, then you should be. I am ruthless. I am relentless. I'm a mass murderer. And every one of you should become better than me. Until that time, have a healthy dose of fear. And after that time, have a healthy dose of fear. There's no reason that I couldn't theoretically turn on every one of you. I made my agreement with the Paragons, but I don't have to keep it. After all, I'm a villain. I'm going to, though, because I'm a man of my word and I always have been. As I said, after today, every student will know who I am. I do not believe I have anything left to say, but I am happy to answer any questions in council, if anyone should need it.
You were a villain.
Actively am, Mr. Tona. Currently, this is a scheme. I persuaded the Paragons to do exactly what I wanted, and I'm playing out my machinations.
Doesn't your machinations make for a better world?
Yes, always has.
So?
It was a road paved with the blood of innocence, Mr. Tonu.
Are you actively taking lives still?
No.
Then you have past sins. Most people do.
Most people would not be content with me existing here. Would not be content with me around the young students of New Dawn. Would not be content with me living freely. I go home at night. I have a bed. I cook wonderful dinners. I have an income. I have a steady job and a steady life.
And lots of people don't anymore.
I know. I'm not asking you to be content with the information. I'm asking you to use it to your advantage. Take what you can learn from the world's greatest villain, and make sure that I never exist again.
Which has been the plan to begin with.
From the beginning.
So when Surge found her way into your heartbeat?
That was actually accidental.
So she just got you?
She did. If I'd used my powers to prevent her, she would know the mentalist was alive. The mesmerist, Allie.
So I was right.
About?
When we went to the prison, you were pretending to be someone you weren't.
I've been pretending to be someone I wasn't from the get-go. Though the alternative line of thought isn't that I was pretending, rather that I was withholding information, which ties into today's lessons. Miss Imora, I can see you are upset.
Wonder why.
Your father is a gutless bastard who
I'm well aware.
goes around doing awful things on the daily.
Yes, I know that.
He has saved maybe 200-300 lives. At the cost of damaging the lives of those he cares about.
I already know all of these things.
I am saving millions of lives
Congratulations.
at the cost of a couple hundred.
You can't weigh lives against lives, Mesmerist.
I can, and I do,
Maybe you can.
but a hero shouldn't.
No one should.
It's a good thing I don't exist. I'm locked deep in a prison.
You've never been funny. Don't
I've
try
never
and start now.
tried to be funny. I am speaking plainly, Miss Himura. That anger, that's good. Not because anger is good in the field of heroism, but it's because you understand that my moral compass does not exist. That's a sign that yours does. Every one of you should hate me. Every one of you should fear me.
Can we go?
I'm here as long as you need me, but otherwise, yes. What's the die roll?
16 lie detector.
He's speaking plain.
Mm-hmm. Just wanted to be sure someone did.
Mhm.
Does this agreement with the Paragons ever end?
The agreement with the Paragons is mostly classified information, but the important parts are they are not to reform.
No, I mean for you to stop teaching.
I plan on teaching until I see a society in the ideals that I have always wanted it to live in,
And what then?
and then I continue my life.
Locke, don't eat this dream.
So if we can take that dream of yours, and if we're able to see it through without villainous actions, that'll be the same as making you quit.
Yes? You'll have stopped the world's greatest villain. Feel up for the challenge?
Always.
Why was the deal for the Paragons to disband? If your intent was to simply train a new society, why would you need to
They
have them
represented the
disband?
worst ideals of super society. They were racist bigots, the vast majority of them, believing that their powers granted them a sense of morality and superiority over humans and supers alike. The vast majority of them, and I say vast because there are a few good ones, I've kept them on my team. The vast majority of them, small-minded, small picture, egotistical, impulsive, arrogant, cocky, pathetic excuses for what a hero should be. Not a single one of them earned that title, with the rare exceptions. And those rare exceptions have been nullified. Self-defense. It was not something I wanted to do. It was something I had to do. I believe there is one remaining Paragon who hasn't been nullified or gone into hiding. He is currently looking for me. He believes I'm still out there. He's very right. But he's never going to find me.
Talking about Kazekage?
Of course. A man has a vendetta.
As he should.
Maybe. Someone has to make the difficult choices, Miss Imura. And usually that requires a lack of morality. You're all dismissed. And the door behind you opens and Monica, Duplex. I had to say Monica again, just to give some levity to the room. Duplex kind of grabs you all and leads you into the elevator, where, like, as you get into the elevator, you see the next group. It's Fia, Ares, and a couple of the 1B kids in this elevator, and, like, they see the expressions on your faces, and they're all like, huh? And then the barrier goes up, and they enter the room.
Do your best.
And Duplex is like, how you doing, champs?
I don't think I'm allowed to talk about it.
You can talk with me.
I think we did great.
Yeah, you guys passed that with flying colors. Not a single civilian casualty, not a single hero down, the building's stability maintained intact despite explosive charges spread throughout by that little whippersnapper Kurt gone. Like, he gained that information, the elevator came up, and he out.
Mm-hmm.
Very silent, very repose. We got a school counselor on site who's very aware of everything.
Great.
And you should go to your friends, too, if you need to, Ren. Look, it's not information that I like either. But if this is what it takes to stop him from doing all of what he's done 200, 300, 400 times over again, I'm willing.
How do you know he's not simply training us, not necessarily to be heroes, but as his own force?
If he wanted to, he wouldn't have to ask. He'd just do it.
Maybe that's exactly what he's doing.
You should talk with Jareth or Ramona. They're indicators that you've been taken over by the mesmerist. You know during you're conscious like a puppet.
He's already expressed that he can leave something in us that triggers. Who's to say there aren't more?
He is, and we take him at his word because he has kept it for years.
Because you're foolish.
Lives are on the line.
They've
Rin.
always been on the line.
And this is stopping them from going down the drain. This is stopping more casualties. He has kept to his word since he signed that deal, since he shook those hands, since he nullified the Paragons. He has kept his word through the process and creation and fostering of New Dawn. He has kept his word in the selection of the teachers, faculty, and students. And he has kept his word with everything he said he would do. He has been fully transparent with the faculty about every choice he's made, and he has stuck to each and every one of them to the letter and intent of the word. This is news for you. The faculty here have been living with this truth for years as we've developed the school. And through that entire time, with every one of our eyes on him, he's done no wrong.
That you can remember.
Why do you think there are members of the Paragons on the faculty?
Because he's already gotten to them. Duplex. Because with a villain like him, no one is safe and no one is in the clear. Because all it takes is a second and you forget someone. All it takes is a second and you're whisked away to some other world. All it takes is a second and you're not allowed to mention the fact that the arch villain of the entire world is suddenly your principal. And for once you're not exaggerating as a teenager.
Do you think he would have revealed that information to you as anything other than a sign of trust?
It's entirely possible I didn't even have a conversation with him just now.
You did. You have everyone here to account for it.
Tell me, what was that number we learned in class? The number of people the mesmerist can affect at once?
1,000?
I think he can handle 8.
You're welcome to believe what you'd like, Rin. If you were still under his control, then you would be aware. Again, it is a puppeteering act. It is a conscious observation.
If you're taking
Out of
everything
body.
he said at his word,
It's not what he said, it's what the Paragons said in many of their reports. Which, again, you can choose not to believe, Rin. It is your choice to do what you wish with this information, but harboring this will not help you. He was right, harbor a healthy fear and a healthy hatred of him. He's a despicable, immoral man, who I struggle to even call that. He's a monster.
I don't fear him, and I'm not going to.
You should,
Why?
because of everything you've just said.
What'll the fear accomplish? I'm not here to be afraid.
It'll keep you aware. Keep your guard up.
Her guard's always up.
Caution.
That's why I like her.
Keeps your guard up. Fear doesn't help.
All that fear does is slow you down.
Rin, did you come to this school to become the #1 hero?
I came to this school to fight my dad.
Has the plan changed?
There's just another person I have to fight now. But that fight will be a lot different.
Rin, there's one piece of information he didn't share, but I'm at liability to.
I'm sure there's a lot of pieces of information you didn't share, but please go on.
Once this first class is graduated, he is going back to jail. He's going to the highest security prison, and he is going to be executed.
Does he know that?
Yes.
He declined to mention that.
When he was lying downstairs, he said he was going to go back to his bed and go back to a life
Mm-hmm.
afterwards.
I don't know why he lied about that. Maybe to give you something to look forward to.
Or to prove to you he's capable of lying.
It's up to you how involved you wish to get in the plans that he theoretically has. But for those of us on the faculty, we've learned to trust this man, this monster.
He's not a monster. A monster is words on a page to scare kids to stay in bed at night. He's a villain. Don't get it twisted.
You're very correct, Miss Amora.
It's like he says in class, villains have their goals. You just have to convince them not to fight. And he was convinced.
He's never fought.
Not everybody fights with fists.
He's on a battlefield we can't comprehend.
There are people who've actively resisted him, Rin.
And there's gonna be another.
I'm simply saying that he is not all-powerful. Clearly he can be stopped, and for the time being he has been.
How does he nullify people?
He removes their memory of their power.
How does he do it?
He gets in their head. Makes them forget they ever had one.
What are the steps of getting there?
Conversation, eye contact. They're the two things that we have owned in and found necessary for his abilities.
Does it have to be verbal conversation?
Yes.
Okay.
He kept Megaphone on staff because Megaphone can more or less counteract that. Megaphone's power is also one of persuasive speech.
And how does megaphones work?
You just have to hear him. That's the reason he's on the campus speakers. He's on a short line so that if we ever suspect anything, we can contact him immediately.
Okay.
He's the one member of faculty that we brought on without Virgil's permission. And Virgil decided it was a great idea.
Okay. You can all stop staring now.
Is Ramona still here?
Ramona is kind of like standing off to the side. That bubble of darkness is the indicator that she's present. She has said nothing during this, but she's far enough away so that you can all see each other.
Ramona?
Yeah,
Can I talk to you?
okay.
How do I... Do I not look at you?
I'm fine right now. what she said, what Virgil said. He made me forget you all existed. And so when someone touches me, I get anxious, but if I know you, I'm fine, but I didn't know you, so my anxiety flared up, and my anxiety flares up, my power flares up.
And so since you know us, it's basically strangers only, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Does your shadow have its own personality?
I don't know. I'm usually not cognizant when my shadow manifests.
How do you normally snap out of it?
I just wake up after. My brother used to talk me out of it. But he's not, physically here.
Is there anything we can learn to maybe talk you out of it if we ever need to?
Just knowing who you are and talking to me will usually be enough.
What part of Japan are you from?
Thomas doesn't know.
But I'm assuming she knows and would tell Rin.
Yes.
So then Rin would 100% be like, great, I'll tell you things about that part of Japan.
Yeah.
And separately as a text to Ramona, does it get lonely?
The shadow keeps me company.
Does it get lonely?
Not often.
Stupid, awkward, clarifying. Do you get lonely even though there is only a shadow to...
I have friends. Why would I be lonely?
That's what I was trying to check. If you ever do, let me know.
Mm-hmm. And this conversation persists for long enough that the elevator comes back up and the next group of students comes out. And there's a tension just thick and palpable in that elevator. Ares, immediately takes 2 steps out of the elevator and into the sky and towards the dorms. Fia sort of staggers out and sits against the wall. Kyrie just sort of she's flickering erratically. It is not rhythmic anymore. It's just... Hey. And your hand on her head grounds her.
Gotta keep your focus.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna go just sit down next to Fia. Not conversation, just
Yeah.
sit nearby.
Sitting next to Fia, you do have to make a will save.
Fia's the little deer lady,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Something's happening. Ooh,
That's
Good will.
awareness, yeah?
that's Will.
Will! Like the stat says.
Let me go
That's a
grab-
20, not natural.
Okay, that should be fine, but let me go grab the card for Fia that I didn't grab because I didn't think it would be necessary.
If it's just a regular ass resistance check, it can't be higher than that. Or actually,
I don't think she breaks power level. If it's a...
if Fia doesn't break power level, it's impossible for anything to be that high.
Not true.
What?
If it's a...
If there's no attack check involved, it's
then it has to be half power level.
Yeah.
So 6 would be the maximum bonus it could have.
I mean, she could very well break power level. She's an NPC.
Mm-hmm.
I
Unless,
don't know where I put her card.
unless more students break power level than last time we checked.
I don't know where I put her card. There it is.
They might have only been talking about students who really break power level.
Just tiny break.
Yeah, just
Minor
cracks.
league.
No, it can exceed half.
For just a raw resistance check,
Mhm.
it can only hit half.
If it's a singular power like that.
Resistance check without an attack is what I think it's phrased.
Because conceptually, balancing out to hit and then effect has to equal power level. But if it's
Yes.
just one thing, it has to be half.
But I mean, again, she's an NPC. She can do what she wants.
No, I trust it, and I'll find the ruling after the session. You're fine. But well, you don't have a cute smell, but there's definitely something in the
I'll
air.
smell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't make out what it is, but there's a smell. So you sit next to Fia.
Mm-hmm.
Robin's gonna text Jareth like, "Hey, can we chat later?"
You don't get a response anytime soon.
Is he gone?
leaves it unseen.
Like, in the room that we are in, is he gone?
Oh, you guys are up and outside.
We're on the
Oh,
ground.
okay.
And he is physically gone, yes.
Okay.
He dipped. So did Kurt.
Well, I'm starving.
Yeah, I think, and Kyria speaks up, we should all probably eat. Like, we've got cooking club later. And,
Ooh.
I mean, that's actually now, because that's PE, done.
Our club's still meeting today?
Why wouldn't they? We could totally have cooking club, and we don't need fight club. We all just beat the shit out of each other. So
Ren sends a
we
quick
could-
text to all of
we
Fight
could-
Club, like, hey, Fight Club is adjourned, meet us at Cooking Club.
we could have extra time for cooking club, and we've got plenty of great chefs, and like she's very clearly trying to maintain her composure and like take sort of a figurehead role
Yeah,
here.
I can teach you all how to make croissants. Ren's mother taught me. They're great.
Yeah,
A lot
croissant
easier
recipe
than
is
you
good.
yeah, croissants.
And then once again, Ren just...
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a little bit.
Yeah.
Until you feel normal again. But until then... Come on.
And like parts of her body still flicker, and it's like watching static on a TV screen, but her hand remains constant.
And Rin gives not a hand-crushing grasp,
but
but
very
like
firm.
that
A
reassuring...
comfort
Mhm.
level.
Yeah.
And everyone's gonna move to cooking club, and we're gonna call the session there. As pastries and succulents and soft, gentle things are made for everybody.
Does Flight Club meet?
No.
The Axis Club?
No.
Z-axis, yeah.
Everyone comes to baking club because everyone wants pastries.
Can we just cheese out real quick? I need to move.
Can
I
we
need to
what?
fight some cheese out. Okay, that's not Japanese. Can we do some kumite or something?
His
Can
heart
we
rate's going
what?
up. He wants to punch
Kumite.
something.
Do you want to play fetch?
Never done sparring. Just while they're cooking, just a little bit, like one-handed, just something.
Isaac, I just punched 2 dudes into oblivion.
Kyria's like, I'll do
I
it.
didn't punch anything.
I'll fight. I've got energy. I gotta get out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I will marshal.
So you guys, I'm not gonna roll this out, but you and Kyria get into a little brawl, and it's interesting because you'll grab her, and then she'll slip out of your grasp, but she doesn't seem to be too much in control, so much as just like trying to physically exhaust herself.
Same.
But like I said, that is going to end our session.
Mhm.
Everyone go ahead, and we're going to add 2 PowerPoints to everyone's profile. To spend as you wish. I think that's what I'm going to keep moving forward with, because I like that. It gives you a little bit of stuff to do every level up, or every session. Thank you, any audience members, past, present, or future. Past, you're really cool. You got some future sight, and future, you can travel through time, or you're just watching something that we put on YouTube. That's super cool, anyways. And past, especially, thank you very much. We appreciate it. This was Flavortext. We will be meeting up next week again. However, that'll probably be at our regular time of 7 p.m. Whatever West Coast time is, PST, Pacific Standard.
PST.
Yeah.
PST. Our social media links are about to go up. Thank you for tuning in, and welcome to our table.
Bye.